What is going on, everybody? Taylor here, and Jacob and I today are starting a new show on this channel. Get in, losers. We're doing movie brackets, and I am so excited for this. It's probably going to end a ton of friendships today. They're all going to go up in flames as we're trying to do our Disney brackets. We are doing Disney animated and Pixar theatrical releases. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Are we ready to bring in our special guest for the day?
We are. So I would like to introduce our special guests for today. Our first one, Mr. Evan Degraff. How are you doing?
Zippity doo da, zippity day. I'm just kidding. I'm doing well. I'm restarting the Pixar binge from a while ago. So it sounds like it's the right time for me to come on. Destroy you guys with some of my, I guess you could call, controversial Disney opinions. But there's been a lot of good shit that's come out recently, and I'm kind of here to defend some of the good shit that's come out compared to some of the what's the right word to use, dated things that have came out.
Oh no!
This could get very interesting very quickly,
I'm here to have a good time, and I also have to say I think this is my first time on Finally Tailored, which what a great first time to be on.
Yeah. And let's bring in our other guest, Mr. Patrick Campbell, who is, I think, about to murder Evan with his already with his takes.
First and last time he's going to be on this channel, I have a feeling. Maybe first and last time he'll ever be on the PJ Campbell network, too. So, this is already going really well. It's really nice to be here. Can't wait to talk some Disney movies and slap Evan around for his bad takes.
We are also joined by one half of Late to the Party, Vanessa. How are you?
Hello there. I'm good. I'm ready to, pound on some of these Disney brackets. I love Disney and I'm ready to go.
All right. Well, let's start with so we do, because Disney at the moment don't fit into a nice 64 bracket. And we had arguments trying to decide which ones weren't going to make the list. So let's just do this based off. I'm going to do a massive wildcard round beforehand. These are the 16 that just missed out on the brackets, and the four of these films are going to make it through to the bracket. So let's start with number one, Pocahontas versus Atlantis, The Lost Empire. Taylor, I'm going to start with you.
Oh, kicking it off strong. We are going to throw in a vote for Atlantis.
All right.
Yes.
PJ, who have you got?
I mean, this isn't even a contest. It's fucking Atlantis. Come on.
Vanessa, who do you have?
Oh my gosh, she already put me in a corner. I love Atlantis. I really do. I love that movie a lot, but I'm putting my hat in Pocahontas because, yeah, it's just nostalgia for me. So I'm putting it in there.
Fair enough. And Evan, who do you have?
One movie is racist as all hell, and I haven't even seen the other one. We're going to go Atlantis.
I would also go with Atlantis. I think Atlantis is such an underrated gem and definitely deserves to go through. So Atlantis, that is our winner for the first one. I'm very sorry, Vanessa.
Oh, it's okay. It's all good.
We are
my
Atlantis
6-year-old self would cry, but it's all good because it's a win-win situation anyways because Atlantis gets to go ahead. So
yeah, that's true.
So our second one, we have, I think, another underrated gem against Cars 2. Rescuers Down Under versus Cars 2. I'm going to start off this one. Rescuers Down Under gets my first pick. Pat, who you got?
I mean, even though I don't like Australia because it gave me you, I'm going with the Rescuers Down Under.
Taylor, you going to go with your adopted home or Cars 2?
I will go with my adopted home that is currently giving me free healthcare. Rescuers Down Under it is.
All right, so Rescuers will win, but for the sake of the vote, Evan, who have you got?
So I don't hate Cars 2, but I also, like, my brain is telling me Rescuers Down Under is a better movie, so we're going to have to go with Australia. Who would have thought?
Vanessa, who have you got?
The Rescuers Down Under. I love that movie.
All right.
Can I just say how sad I am? We all just voted against Bruce Campbell, though. Like, the sole reason Cars 2 is the best is because Bruce Campbell is in it.
All right.
Is it, though?
Yes,
Another
Bruce
meme
Campbell
one,
in
guys.
everything.
Another
Okay,
meme one. We
Campbell, but
have
the story itself.
Brother Bear versus Cars 3. Pat, I'm going to start with you. Which one have you got?
Brother Bear is like massively underrated, and I love that movie very, very much. So I'm going with Brother Bear.
Okay, Evan, who do you have?
I'm gonna get killed for this, but it's gonna be Cars 3. It has probably some of the best racing sequences of the past decade.
All right, white trash.
Vanessa,
turn.
Vanessa, I'm going to move to you. Who have you got, Brother Bear or Cars 3?
I'm going Brother Bear because of the moose.
Okay.
Rick Moranis.
Yes.
Taylor, you're going to have the starting vote because I'm going Cars 3.
Well, that just ruined my whole plan because I was going to be white trash with Evan and make you have the deciding vote. But
All right. Brother Bear is out.
No.
This is
Big early upset. All right.
I think PJ's
Oh,
regretting.
PJ's done. PJ's done.
He's out of here.
Jail.
We've already got our first rage quit. All right. Next one we have Dinosaur
We
versus
should start drinking every
Caballeros.
time PJ leaves.
That's a great idea, actually.
Yeah.
Taylor, I'm going to start with you. Dinosaur or the three Calaveras?
I'm going with the three Caballeros.
All righty. PJ, who have you got?
3 Caballeros.
All righty. Evan, who have you got?
This is actually stumping me. What the hell?
Are you kidding me?
No, hear me out. No, hear me out. We have a landmark in animation in Dinosaur. Arguably one of the most important movies in the past two 99. Wait, was it 99 for Dinosaur?
2000.
2000 in the past 2 decades. One of the most important films in the past 2 decades. And then we also have the Three Caballeros, which is probably one of the most important movies for Disney parks. This is killing me. I think we're gonna go with the Three Caballeros, just because the ride in Epcot is magnificent.
All right. Well, it means that one will win. Vanessa, where would your vote have landed?
It would have landed with the Three Caballeros.
Okay. I would have gone Dinosaur just because I actually do really like Dinosaur as a movie. So
It's a good movie.
It's a good movie, but not better than freaking Three Caballeros.
The only thing I remember about Dinosaur is when they had like the special feature like effect to talking about how they took live action like shots of different scenery and just added the CG of the dinosaurs in there. And that's all like ever remembered when I saw the movie.
Can I bring this up real quick? Because Vanessa worked at Best Buy in the same way that I worked at Best Buy, and we used to run the demo reel all the time in home theater of Dinosaur when it hit Blu-ray, and that was one of the things that they used to show.
Yeah.
All right. We have our next one. Robin Hood versus the Rescuers. Now, this is the original Rescuers. So, Evan, I'm going to start with you. Rescuers or Robin Hood?
You know what? Just because I don't have to go for Australia this time means I'm not going to. We're gonna go Robin Hood.
Okay, Taylor.
I will also throw my vote to Robin Hood.
So will I.
So?
I love that Robin Hood movie. It is so much fun. As good as Rescuers is, the sequel's better. So I'm going to go with Robin Hood. Pat.
I probably would have gone with Robin Hood.
Okay, and Vanessa.
I will say the sequel is better, but I was going the Rescuers.
Okay. All right. We have our next one, Oliver and Company versus the Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. I am going to go with Oliver and Company.
Who's next?
Pete, Taylor, who have you got?
Absolutely Oliver and Company. That is such an easy choice for me.
Okay, PJ, who have you got?
This isn't even a question. I can't believe that we have to ask this right now because anyone who knows me knows how much I love the great city of New York. We're going Oliver and Company.
Okay. Evan, who have you got?
Oliver and Company.
And Vanessa.
Oliver and Company. Duh.
Clean sweep.
Clean sweep. All righty.
I mean, can we just talk about how banging the soundtrack for Oliver and Company is?
Billy
real quick?
Joel.
It's so good.
Dude.
All right, we have our next one, The Good Dinosaur versus Home on the Range.
Oh my god.
Evan, I will let you go first.
I will keep giving the spiel. The Good Dinosaur is a landmark in animation. We had this conversation the other day. It's a landmark in animation. I'm dead serious. What it did to transform how we see water and how we see nature around us is monumental. And also the story is really cute, has a good message. It's The Good Dinosaur all the way.
Alrighty, Pat, who we got?
Oh, it's The Good Dinosaur. It's not even a question. I think we actually made one of the people in the chat rage quit because of
oh, well, we're already there.
Doing well, team.
We're doing our job then.
Yeah.
I'm going with Good Dinosaur. Yeah, Home on the Edge is not a good movie, whereas in A Good Dinosaur, it's also not a great movie, but it does have beautiful animation.
It also has Sam Elliott.
Yeah.
True.
I will also throw in my vote for The Good Dinosaur.
And Vanessa.
Home on the Range. I'm just kidding. I'm going Good Dinosaur. Going Good Dinosaur.
You scared the crap out of me.
You didn't want to
I gotta liven it up a little bit. Get a little something for the commentators, okay?
And lastly, for round 1 in the wild card, we have the Black Cauldron versus Chicken Little. Pat, I'm gonna let you start with this one.
Yeah, because I had to bitch at you just to get this movie on the list. I can't believe the disrespect that you had for Zach Braff. We're going Chicken Little, goddammit.
Okay. Taylor, where are we going?
I'm not going next.
Okay. Evan, where are we going?
The sky is falling. The Good Dinosaur just had a clean sweep. We're going to go part 2. Chicken Little for the win.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just utterly just bewildered by the fact it's Black Cauldron. Black Cauldron is such an underrated Disney film. Black Cauldron.
Why do you talk?
Oh, Vanessa, who we got?
I'm sorry, PJ, but I love the Black Cauldron as well. It's just one of those, dark Disney from the dark ages of Disney, and I like it a lot.
All right, Taylor, you've got the deciding vote.
Well, this is not going to end well for anyone involved. But I'm also going with the Black Cauldron.
All right, Chicken Little is out of here.
Is Evan drinking it again? Is he just chugging wine at this point?
Dang, I should probably bust out my margarita mix.
This is ridiculous. How dare you guys disrespect Adam West like that? And Zach Braff.
All right, next.
Okay, Robert, I see you.
Robert. That wasn't me. That was Robert.
Robert, I love you, but our friendship is now in danger.
All right, we have our next one. The Rescuers Down Under versus Atlantis, The Lost Empire. This one hurts me because I really, really do love both of these films. I'm going to give Atlantis the edge, but man, Rescuers is so gorgeous. So, Evan, who have you got?
There's a Rick and Morty episode that's supposed to be about Atlantis, but it never actually ended up being about Atlantis. So we're going to go Atlantis, The Lost Empire.
Okay, we have 2 for Atlantis. Taylor.
Yeah, this one is tough. This one's tough. I think The Rescuers Down Under, I have more of like a childhood nostalgia for than I do with Atlantis, but like Atlantis to me does so much that a lot of other Disney movies don't do. So I'm going to have to give it to Atlantis.
All right.
And she votes against the free healthcare.
That's what Americans do.
Yeah. Pat, who have you got?
Michael J. Fox wins 9 times out of 10. We're going Atlantis.
And Vanessa.
I'm going the other way. Rescuers Down Under. Sorry.
Oh, good.
I do love Atlantis, but Atlantis is going anyway. So
yeah, Atlantis makes it through. We have our next one: The Three Calaveras or Cars 3. Oof. Taylor, I'm going to let you start.
Oh, of course you are. Look, I am like the poster person for being an advocate for Cars 3, so I'm going with Cars 3.
Okay, Pat, who have you got?
It's The Three Caballeros. That's simple for me. I think the Cars franchise is fine, but The Three Caballeros is iconic.
I am just going to put this out so everyone knows my vote. It is Cars 3. Evan, where are you going?
Cars 3 takes the spot, man. The movie's just actually really good.
Man, I really think Pat's going to rage quit by the end of this. Vanessa.
I'm pretty sure this is the 3rd time he's already rage quit.
I agree with PJ, but I'm going Cars 3 over it because it is a classic. But I am going with Cars 3.
You guys are all out of your mind. What the hell is happening right now?
And we have our next one: Robin Hood versus Oliver and Company. Vanessa, I'm going to let you start. Which one have you got here?
I'm going Oliver and Company. That's all I'll say. I'm going Oliver and Company.
Pat, since we just keep absolutely just destroying your childhood, which one are you going to go with, Robin Hood?
We're going with Oliver and Company. It's not even a question. I can't believe this.
Great. Evan, where are you going?
There's a Chris Clark joke made to be here, so we're going to go Oliver and Company.
All right, Taylor?
Yeah, it's definitely Oliver and Company.
I'd be the one. I'm going Robin Hood, so I'll get my heart destroyed this time. All right, last but
You
not
deserve
least.
that.
So this is the last of our wildcard matches. So we have the Good Dinosaur versus the Black Cauldron.
Ooh.
I am going to go with the Black Cauldron.
Can I just shout out Robert real quick, who said he fell asleep twice watching Cars 3 in the chat? I am with you, Robert.
Okay.
He obviously didn't watch it with me. You would have had a grand old time.
Taylor, where are we aiming? Where are we looking?
I am also going Black Cauldron.
All right. Evan, where are we going for you?
I'm clearly going the Good Dinosaur. Look, if it gets knocked out, it had a hell of a run. One movie, and that's all I needed for it. But damn, if you disrespect the animation like that.
Put me in, coach. Put me in.
All right, Pat, where are we?
We're taking it out, the Good Dinosaur. We're going to Black Cauldron. Get the fuck out of here, Evan.
Of course you would do that. Like, come on.
All right,
Come on,
Evan.
PJ.
All right, so Black Cauldron will win, but Vanessa, what is your last pick?
Obviously, the Black Cauldron.
Yeah.
The
Bam.
Boomers take the lead. It's okay. I'm not mad.
Well, that now gives us our bracket, which is going to be a very
we
interesting bracket.
barely got out of the wild card round
Yeah.
unscathed. We haven't even started yet, guys.
Nope.
So buckle your seatbelts.
So our first one in bracket number 1, we have Inside Out versus Atlantis, the Lost Empire.
Oh,
I'm going to start with you.
I already know what's about to happen, so I'm going to cast my vote for Atlantis because I need to get one last look at my movie before it gets knocked the hell out.
I'm going to do it. Inside Out has the most emotional scene out of one, is an incredibly emotional, has an emotional scene with Bing Bong's death, but Atlantis is the better movie overall. So I have an Atlantis vote. All right, Evan.
Yes.
No. How dare you? Inside Out is probably. Oh, it's Inside Out, and it's not even close. It's not even close.
Taylor.
I'm sorry, Evan, but it's got to be Atlantis.
Yes.
What?
Evan, if you feel any better, I was gonna go Inside Out as well.
I appreciate you, Vanessa. You must be the only one with the brain. You must be the only one that looks at water and doesn't think that's the best thing I've ever seen. I appreciate you.
What the hell?
Seed just knocked out the number 1 seed.
That's okay. They'll get their dues when it goes up against another one and that they have to pick and it loses.
I
Yep.
hope so.
It's fine.
All
I'm
right.
going to take Atlantis the distance.
Next, we have Wreck-It Ralph versus Monsters, Inc. I'm going to start with this. Wreck-It Ralph takes this one. Evan?
It's Monsters Inc., dude. Wreck-It Ralph has done nothing in the cultural zeitgeist other than get a sequel that I enjoyed, but not that many people did. Monsters Inc. has been all over the theme parks. People still talk about Monsters Inc. to this day. You see them dressing up as Mike and Sully for Halloween and shit. It's Monsters Inc. It's not even close.
All righty. Taylor?
I mean, I cosplayed as a character from Wreck-It Ralph at Comic-Con, and it got me free Comic-Con badges, but I'm still going with Monsters, Inc. because it's the better.
Fair enough. Pat, where are we going?
I can't believe the disrespect that was just thrown at Wreck-It Ralph, but it's definitely Monsters, Inc. Like, regardless of what Evan said. Monsters Inc. is phenomenal. It's one of Pixar's best films to this day.
Pixar's part. Monsters Inc. Never mind. I think it's a Wreck-It Ralph.
Alrighty. And Vanessa, where are we going with you?
I want to say that Monsters Inc. is a good movie because of the actors that you have, these characters being portrayed. You've got, John Goodman in there, and it's always a fun time when you have him there. But I had more fun with Wreck-It Ralph, so I'm going Wreck-It Ralph.
All right. Monsters Inc. does pull the win, though. So let's move on to our next one. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs versus Hercules. This is okay. This is going to piss off a lot of classic animation lovers and historians. It's Hercules. It is absolutely Hercules.
Do you see the dress that I have worn tonight? It's obviously Hercules. Okay.
All right, Pat.
I mean, I'm gonna do it. It's Hercules. There's no question in my mind that it's Hercules. I love Snow White for what it did for film, and yet I can't get over how much I still adore Hercules for so many reasons, including that incredible soundtrack.
Guys, the soundtrack, okay? I can't put enough emphasis on the soundtrack.
All right, Evan, what do we got?
How the hell am I the film purist here? How did that happen? How did I become the film purist?
Okay, Boomer.
Yeah, okay, Boomer. You don't get to talk about us ever again.
Vanessa, where are we going?
I gotta go the distance. Gotta go Hercules.
All right. Hercules makes it through. Our next one, Bolt versus Fantasia.
Ooh. Okay. Who's going to kick that one off?
Evan, I'm going to let you start this one.
You jackass. I can't. This is hard, actually.
Really?
Bolt's probably one of the... Yeah, I think Bolt's one of the more underrated Disney animated films out there. Especially in my culture, every time that film gets brought up, I'm like, man, Bolt was awesome. But it's hard to go against Fantasia just because Fantasia's Fantasia, man. The Wizard Mickey is literally everything to me. So it's going to be Fantasia, but it's a lot closer than I think this result's going to give it credit for.
All right. I am also going Fantasia. That is, I think, one of the most iconic films in classic Disney. I think that is one of their best films. And and Bolt's, and it was a nice film, I guess, but it's not great. It's one of those, it's the Disney film that was released while Pixar was being Pixar, and it sadly is just one of those. So I'm going Fantasia. Pat,
it's Bolt. This is fucking crazy. I like Fantasia fine, but Fantasia does not stay with me the way that Bolt has. I actually have a really undying love for Bolt. I think it's got such an interesting commentary on Hollywood and the system. I'm doing it. It's fucking Bolt.
Okay. I don't blame you for that. I actually cannot blame you for that.
Yeah. All right, Vanessa, where are you all landing?
Okay, I got one word. Phantasmic. So I'm going Fantasia.
Yeah.
All right, Fantasia does pull the win. Taylor, where would you have gone?
Fantasia.
Okay. All right, we have our next one. This one's tough.
Oh, no. Oh.
Toy Story versus Finding Dory.
This is supposed to be tough.
Well,
it is.
It's
actually really tough.
To me, it actually is.
All right, I'm going to I'll let you guys go last so that you're not actually picking. Okay. So, because it's Toy Story for me very, very easily. Pat, I'm guessing.
Oh, it's Toy Story. I'm not the biggest fan of Finding Nemo or Finding Dory. So
I'm going to do the thing. The Leo.
Yeah. See, Vanessa gets it.
Vanessa, where are you landing?
If that didn't indicate it, I'm going Toy Story. I'm not a big fan of Finding Dory.
All right. Well, that makes I think your life's a little bit easier, so you can if you want to pick it just to make you feel so better.
I mean, I probably honestly will, because I think Finding Dory does deserve a lot more love than it gets. I avoided seeing it and didn't see it in theaters because I didn't think it was going to be good, and then I watched it on Netflix and cried like a baby. So
all right. So
I gotta say, Finding Dory does a really interesting thing of they actually make a side character work, and they do it in such a way where representation for especially in the people who have mental disabilities and actually making it work and making the characters seem super relatable is sometimes really hard, but they pulled it off and they put it off really good. And I just saw Toy Story today. Good movie, but man, it's dated.
Oh, dear God.
Dated as hell.
Okay. So you're going Finding Dory? Evan? You're going Finding Dory?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty rough.
All right. Toy Story does win, however. Let's move on to Princess and the Frog versus Dumbo. Vanessa, I'm going to let you start this one.
I'm going Princess and the Frog. I think that Princess and the Frog is a very underrated Disney movie, and I do really, really like that movie. So I'm going Princess and the Frog.
Evan.
Princess and the Frog. That's easy. Like, that's so easy. That movie's so good on so many levels.
And Taylor?
Yeah, I don't think that Princess and the Frog really gets recognized the way that it deserves to. I think the music is solid. I think the story is really great. It has a very interesting villain. And I just don't think enough people really talk about the impact that it does have in terms of the movies
Thank
Disney
you.
has put out. Yeah.
I love the villain.
Yeah,
I think it's probably one of the best villains, like top tier Disney villains.
Yeah.
Pat?
It's Princess and the Frog. Like, it's not even close. Dumbo is fine, but I actually think that Tim Burton did the story better and less racist. So we're going with Princess and the
Frog. Sweet. I'm also going Princess and the Frog. One of the all-time classics is now out. All right, let's move on to Sleeping Beauty versus Tarzan. This is going to sound a lot harder for a lot of people, but it is by no means no question for me. It's Tarzan. It's Tarzan by a country mile.
Hey, Jacob. It's Tarzan. Look at that. We're doing the Leo. It's Tarzan. It's happening. That movie is classic. That movie is so good. We are going
the soundtrack.
The soundtrack.
Phil
my God.
Went so hard for that movie. Like, Jesus.
All right. Evan, where are you landing?
Tarzan's probably the most overrated Disney project. And
get him out of here.
I think what happens with Tarzan is the animation whilst it's breathtaking, the story's just kind of subpar. It's like, oh, people are different. We came together. Wubba lubba dub dub. And I think the soundtrack is overrated. I think Phil Collins does a decent job, but it doesn't fit that
this
Disney.
Coming from the guy who says Kanye West has the best albums he's ever heard. I swear to God.
That is true. Kanye makes some great records. You can't go after Kanye in a Disney stream. How about you catch
College Dropout was a great soundtrack.
Thank you. How about
you
check out the PJ Campbell show? Come this Sunday. But
PJ, why do you allow him on your channel when he has takes like this?
I don't know. I allow Jacob, and Jacob also doesn't like Logan. So, I mean,
fair enough. So, Evan, I'm guessing your pick is for Sleeping Beauty?
Yes.
Okay, Boomer.
Where are we going?
I'll go.
Where are we going, Vanessa?
And I'm going with Tarzan. One, because of Phil Collins. That song is amazing. And it also because of the first Kingdom Hearts game.
Yep, totally.
All right. Taylor, no question or?
Literally, this is a disgrace that we're having this conversation and that Evan is allowed to be part of it.
Tarzan takes the win.
I'm going to say real quick, the Batman is in the chat and he was like, Sleeping Beauty is iconic and Tarzan's good. Yeah, I mean, iconic status is good for a reason, but iconic doesn't always mean that people are going to like it more. And I think that that's where people get caught up in these.
I agree with that. I think that Sleeping Beauty is more iconic, but I don't necessarily think that means I want to sit down and watch Sleeping Beauty more.
Yep.
All right.
I mean, they did change the storyline for live action, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So next one we have Aristocats versus Wall-E. This is the one that's probably going to get me sleeping on the couch. I'm picking Wall-E. Taylor?
I mean, I'm going to pick the Aristocats, and yes, that is definitely going to get you couch location. So have fun with that.
I will. Evan, where are we going?
Wall-E. I did that so wrong. It's Wall-E. Holy fuck.
Okay, I'm just gonna let you shut up now. Vanessa, where are we landing?
I'm sorry, Taylor. I love the Aristocats, but I'm going Wall-E.
And PJ, where are you going?
I mean, I'm going with Taylor on this one. I don't want her to hate me. I'm going the Aristocrat.
Someone has sense in this entire chat.
Wally moves on to the next round. All right, we're going to move on to the second bracket.
Only the second bracket.
I know, yes. We're getting there. All right, our next bracket is...
even Robert said Wally's gorgeous on all levels.
Yeah, it is.
So, hey, we have the fight of the sequels. Toy Story 3 versus Cars 3.
Oh,
please.
Oh, please.
Evan, where are you landing?
For as much as I wanted Cars 3 to make its run, and as much as I think the Toy Story franchise sometimes gets overblown, Toy Story 3 is one of the landmarks of cinema.
Overblown? Get the fuck out of here.
I stand by that, but Toy Story 3 is one of the landmarks of cinema.
Get the fuck out of here.
Nice speak. Toy Story 3 is one of the landmarks of cinema. It's Toy Story 3. God.
Taylor?
Yes, Toy Story 3. I love the Cars franchise, and it has a special place in my heart, and I don't, like, there are people who just don't get it, and that's fine. But Toy Story 3, because of Toy Story being such a big part of my childhood, and because it has that big emotional impact, it has to be Toy Story 3.
Yeah. Pat, I already know your answer, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean, it's Toy Story 3. It's not even a contest. The kid in front of me who was staring at me while I cried through it when it came out knows that it's Toy Story 3 because I kicked his chair.
All right, Vanessa, where are we landing?
We are landing on Toy Story 3. I think that is such a pivotal moment in the Toy Story franchise.
Yep.
Especially with the characters and, us growing up with Andy and then becoming Andy. It was just heartbreaking and beautiful.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's a clean sweep. It's Toy Story 3. Cars 3 is a lot of fun, and I do really enjoy Cars 3, but Toy Story 3 is just an all-time great. It's one of Pixar's best films. So the number one seed moves on.
Shout out to the dude in the chat who said it's like Steve Urkel versus Mike Tyson.
All right, we have Pixar's most recent outing with Onward versus Big Hero 6. So, Evan, I'm going to let you start with this one. Where are you landing?
I know this isn't going to win, and it makes me so sad. Big Hero 6 is really good. It's a great comic book movie, but it's Onward. Onward, the more I think about it, the more I sit on it, the more I read about it, it's such a great movie from front to back, and it does so many great things. And it's a really nice breath of fresh air, especially in Discard's filmography. It's got to be Onward.
All right, Pat, where are you landing?
It's Big Hero 6. I love Onward to death, but Big Hero 6 wrecks me every time I watch it. I love that movie so much. And I thought it was like one of the coolest comic book films we'd ever gotten.
Okay. Taylor, I think I have a feeling where I know you're landing on this one.
Look, I mean, there's a lot to love about Onward, and we just rewatched it for the second time with PJ on his channel.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot to love about it, but Big Hero 6 has to win. Easy. Like, that's an easy choice for me to make.
Vanessa?
I am also going Big Hero 6 because I love the arc with Baymax towards the end. It pulled me more emotionally than Onward did. So that's where my vote is going for, Big Hero 6.
Thank you, Robert.
I think it's definitely Big Hero 6. It's just the more emotional, more compelling, more interesting film, and I'm going with Big Hero 6. So Big Hero 6 moves on. All right, next.
I just thought it's interesting. Sam Meltzer in the chat said Onward's getting way too much hate. Those poor animators and filmmakers. I don't disagree, and I don't think anyone here hates that movie. Like, we just did a watch along, like Taylor said. Like, we love Onward, but it's Big Hero 6.
Right.
I don't hate Onward. I just have a hard time emotionally connecting with the way they ended the movie. But I love the world building. I think the animation is beautiful. I have nothing against the animators of that world. No way do I have a couple of problems with the story, but I by no means hate or discourage anyone from watching that movie.
I agree with Taylor. I do have big issues with the story, but I thought that the animation was great.
All right, let's move on to our next one. Zootopia versus Monsters University. As much as I love Monsters University, and I think Monsters University does have a really great third act that is more powerful than the rest of the film, Zootopia is just a better film overall and just more fun to watch. So I'm going to go Zootopia. Taylor?
Yep, I'm with you. Zootopia.
Evan?
For as much as I worry about giving furries power, it's easily Zootopia.
Nicely.
Pat, where are you landing?
I mean, I really, really like Zootopia a lot. I really, really like Monsters University a lot. I think Monsters University, much like Onward, gets a lot of flack for not being Monsters University or Monsters Inc., and I don't think that's necessarily fair. I mean, Zootopia is already going to win, so I'm tossing my vote to Monsters University just to give it some love.
All right, and Vanessa.
It's got to be Zootopia. I never saw Monsters University in theaters. I waited like a year or 2 years until after it came out. So it goes to Zootopia.
All right, let's move on to our next one, Hunchback of Notre Dame versus Aladdin. Evan, I'm going to let you start this one.
I think the main issue that Hunchback has is that it's super inaccessible in terms of the story and how it's told. It's it's for a very specific niche audience, which is why I'm going to go for Aladdin. It's a better movie. The score is the soundtrack's way more iconic, and it's so beautiful. That animation is so good.
All right, Taylor.
I actually did really enjoy The Hunchback of Notre Dame as a kid. It's kind of one of those more fringe Disney movies, I guess you could say, that I did enjoy watching. But I do think Aladdin had a much bigger impact on my childhood and my life overall. When they announced they were going to make a live action Aladdin, it was like my world was kind of imploding in on itself a little bit because I was scared to see what they were going to do. Regardless of how I feel about the live action movie, I think that says a lot about like how much it means to me as a movie. So it has to be Aladdin.
All right, Vanessa.
Aladdin. I do like The Hunchback, but I think that emotionally I'm more invested in Aladdin, especially with, the genie and Robin Williams. Yeah. So it's got to be Aladdin.
Pat, do I even need to ask?
No, I mean, Aladdin has the greatest animated performance of all time in Robin Williams as genie. It's not even close. Like, it's Aladdin.
I 1000% agree with everything you said. However, I love Hunchback and I want it to have at least one vote. And since it can't lose, it can't win. I'm giving Hunchback my vote because I want it to have one vote.
That was me and Monsters U. I get it.
Yeah, it deserves a vote. All right, let's move on to Toy Story 2 versus Treasure Planet. This one hurts.
Yeah,
this one hurts.
This one is personally attacking me.
Yeah. We're starting to get to the painful ones. I'm going to go with Toy Story 2, but I love Treasure Planet, and if it wins, I won't be disappointed. But Toy Story 2 is just such a perfect sequel and perfect follow-up of of taking these characters and making them make a choice that will affect them for the rest of their lives, that we then see in Toy Story 3, what were the impacts of that choice.
Yeah.
And I think it's just such a perfect trilogy, and this is a reason for it, so I'm going with Toy Story 2. Evan?
For what I said about Toy Story 2, good movie is still good. It's got to be Toy Story 2. A lot of people love this movie. A lot of people hold this movie true to their heart. Treasure Planet is like a B Disney movie at that. So
Shots taken.
Okay, that was.
I'm assuming Pat wants to go next.
Yeah, I'm assuming he does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Number one, how fucking dare you, Evan? B movie. I think you need to go back and watch it. We already have Toy Story 3 on the board. I don't think Treasure Planet's going to get past this, so I'm going with Treasure Planet because I think that movie is massively underrated. I really love the adventurous side of Disney, and Treasure Planet is that side. It's the side that Atlantis got screwed on. It was the side that Tarzan didn't do that well on. Like, when they take risks like Treasure Planet, I dig it a lot. This movie gets my vote.
Taylor.
All right. I'm going to go with Pat on this one and go with Treasure Planet. Toy Story 2 means a lot to me, and it did when I was a kid as well. Like, Toy Story 2 has a really special place in my heart, and I think it's a great movie. But I do think that Treasure Planet deserves way more love than it gets, way more love than being called a B Disney movie.
Yeah, Evan.
So I'm going to do that just so that they both get the equal amount of love, and Vanessa can let us know what's moving on.
Yeah,
You're putting this on my shoulders?
Yep. So Vanessa, you now get to decide the fates of mankind. What is moving on?
It was not on purpose. I'm sorry, Vanessa.
No, it's okay. I like the pressure. Let's go. So I am picking Toy Story 2. The reason is because they brought in characters that you fall in love with. And the fact that you feel like those characters could easily be in the first movie. But when they brought them in with Jessie and Bullseye, and they're just so iconic with all of the characters now. And just to think about the fact that they came in Toy Story 2, that's all you need to know.
All right, let's move on to Lady and the Tramp versus Cinderella. Taylor, I'm going to let you start.
Oh, great. This one's an interesting one for me because Cinderella, I think I remember watching more of as a kid, but neither of them really hold an emotional significance for me. Like, I think they're both really good movies. I think Lady and the Tramp is a really cute movie. But I think I'm going to have to go with Cinderella just because it is, in my mind, the more prevalent, like culturally. And I do think that when I think back on it, it's had more of an impact on like the movie choices that I do make now. So I'm going to go with Cinderella.
I agree. I'm actually also going to go with Cinderella. I think that Lady and the Tramp is a very fine movie as well. But if I think more about the impact that both these films have, Cinderella's clearly the higher impact. Pat.
I'm going Lady and the Tramp. I like Cinderella a lot, but I would actually rather watch Kenneth Branagh's version of the story than the animated film. So for me, Lady and the Tramp is going to take this.
All right. And Vanessa.
I am going Cinderella because I think Cinderella was a pivotal turning point for Disney, and you see it a lot in the documentaries regarding Disney. So if Cinderella was never really there, then I feel like we never really would be where Disney is at right now. So I'm going Cinderella.
And yet we voted Snow White off.
Evan, where are we going?
Cinderella, boring as hell. Lady and the Tramp has 2 dogs eating at a fine, nice Italian dinner. It's Lady and the Tramp.
All right. Cinderella does move on, however.
I know.
So let's now go to Frozen versus the 2011 version of Winnie the Pooh.
Can I do it?
I'm going to let you start.
I think Frozen, compared to most of Disney's most recent output, is maybe their most overrated animated film because I think the sequel blows it out of the water. We're going Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh is vastly, vastly underrated. That movie is so wonderful. It makes you feel so good. It's just a really great movie. We're going Winnie the Pooh here. Plus, Craig Ferguson's in it.
All right. Hey, Evan, where are you landing?
Evan, are you still alive?
Evan?
No. How do you make me? How are you gonna make me vote against Winnie the Pooh?
Then you don't.
How are you gonna make me do that?
Because Frozen 2 is still on the bracket, I'm sure. So you can
But
definitely.
the first Frozen, as much as you may or may not like it, PJ, does so much, especially for Disney and what it represented as the brand at the time. Bringing in not 1 but 2 super strong and important female leads, Anna and Elsa, both completely different characters, and what they meant for the company at the time, and also what they meant for, I would even say, society at the time. It's got to be Frozen, man. It's got to be Frozen.
All right, Vanessa, where are you landing?
This one's kind of a tough one because Winnie the Pooh. You grow up with Winnie the Pooh, and the movie is great. Frozen is also great too. However, I think that I'm going to put my hat with Winnie the Pooh.
Yes.
I do like Frozen. It's just that I don't think that it is as, for me personally, I don't think it's as big as other people might make it out to be.
It's fair.
Vanessa, I'm high-fiving you right now.
Taylor.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Well, I think Taylor's about to knock Frozen out, so I'm going to go with Frozen.
Yeah, Frozen, get the fuck out of here. It's Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh wins.
Look, I love Frozen too. I think Frozen is fine. So Winnie the Pooh is moving on.
High five me. High five.
Can we do the
Yeah.
All right. And our
Right here in the
last
corner.
one for bracket 2, Meet the Robinsons versus Up. Evan, we're just going to let you sit there and torture. Taylor, where are you going?
I mean, this one's actually a tough one for me because as Taylor Robinson, if I vote away Meet the Robinsons, I feel like I'm betraying some sort of like existential thing, you know? Like I feel like that's a bad omen for me to kick out Meet the Robinsons. But then there's Up. So it's like I like Meet the Robinsons. I think it's a good movie, but I can't vote against Up. Like I can't do it. So
Right.
so it has to be.
All right, we're going Up. Pat, where are you landing?
It's a little bit harder than I was expecting. I actually really like Up a ton, but I also do kind of fall in line with some of the people who think that the movie is not nearly as strong after like the first 15 minutes. Like Michael Giacchino's score is so incredible, and I love it for that. But Meet the Robinsons has a T-Rex who knows that he has tiny arms and a big head, and I'm going with the T-Rex.
Oh my God. Vanessa, where are we landing?
I am landing with Up because it took me 3 times to watch Meet the Robinsons. I fell asleep like halfway through each time that I tried to watch it. With Up, I was always glued to the screen, and I saw that in theaters, so Up.
All right, Evan, where are you landing?
Up, it has that problem where like, how is the short film better than the rest of the film? The short film being the first 10 minutes. When you have that and you end up subverting your expectations of the movie, but for that long, it's hard to keep up, and the film doesn't get as good as it should be. And then we have Meet the Robinsons, where the bowler hat guy is literally probably one of my favorite like names for a character of all time. It's got to be Meet the Robinsons. We've talked about this earlier. It's Meet the Robinsons.
Okay. It's Up, and Up makes it through.
Can I just point out something real quick in the chat? So we met Michael Giacchino at Disney's or at Downtown Disney during D23, and we asked him what his name was pronounced, and he said it was Michael Giacchino.
Yeah, I totally butchered it because we've had this conversation and I knew I was butchering it. So Robert and Tim, both screw yourselves. I know I screwed it up. It happens. I'm sorry.
I had to put it out there for him.
So just my reasoning for Up is just because the first 15 minutes are so incredible doesn't mean the rest of the film. The rest of the film is not as good as the first 15 minutes, but it is still a really fun and entertaining adventure. All right, let's move on to bracket 3.
Oh gosh.
Our first one is Toy Story 4 versus Oliver and Company.
Can I start?
I'm going to let you start.
I want to go second.
Because I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like, I like Toy Story 4 a lot, but I think that it also kind of undoes some of the stuff that I love about Oliver and Company, or about Toy Story 3. So I'm going with Oliver and Company. Toy Story 3 is such a perfectly finite ending, and I didn't need Toy Story 4. I still don't necessarily think I needed it. I like the movie a lot, but I would much rather rewatch Oliver and Company.
All right. Vanessa, you wanted to go second?
I did.
Yes!
I'm going Oliver and Company because I think that Toy Story 4 just is taking it too far. Toy Story 3 made the perfect ending for the Toy Story characters, and then they kind of went overboard with Toy Story 4, and I don't care about Toy Story 4, so it's Oliver and Company.
All right. Taylor?
I mean, I love Oliver and Company, and I love that soundtrack more than anything. But Toy Story 4 meant a lot to me emotionally for a lot of reasons, so I have to pick Toy Story 4.
Sorry, guys, I'm also going Toy Story 4.
Oh
Toy
my
Story
God,
4,
we're alone in this.
This is crazy. Vanessa and I high-fiving again because she gets it.
Just emotionally beautiful film, and let you say goodbye to Woody.
I agree.
And that's it gives you the chance to say goodbye to Woody.
I think you say goodbye to him in the last one. So why are we voting for it all over again?
I think you say that's not saying goodbye to Woody. That's saying goodbye to Andy.
I think this is one saying goodbye.
But you say goodbye to both of them.
Evan, who are you going to destroy?
I am so sorry, Vanessa and PJ. But
no, you're not.
Toy Story 4 is the best of the franchise.
No, it's not.
Okay, I ain't going that far.
Bye.
As I was gonna say, it does so much for the franchise. It closes off so many loose ends. Like I remember after watching Toy Story 3, I had so many questions left. So many like things that we couldn't tie up.
What questions?
We'll
The
get
ones
into
that are
that
answered
another
by
day.
Toy Story 4.
Yeah, and we got the answer in Toy Story 4. And also
Toy
the
Story
film
4 is
and the color palette of it, and like what exactly that and how it discovers new characters and how we tell those character stories too, and how they tighten back the Woody story. It's just so impeccable, and it does so many things right. It's such a good
God,
movie.
I can't believe we have to sit here and agree with Evan.
This is
God.
fucking bullshit. Like I will not. I don't go back to Toy Story 4, whereas I would much rather watch Toy Story 3. Like you guys.
All right, let's move
Alright,
on
anyway.
to A Bug's Life versus Tangled.
Is this a personal attack? Is this you coming into my house and trying to personally attack me as a person? Because I feel like this specific bracket is coming in and saying, I want Taylor to suffer personally.
I love you. I'm going to let you start this one.
I'm mad at you guys. I don't even want to talk to you anymore. The only person I don't hate right now is Vanessa.
Thank you.
So with that, we're going with Tangled. It's not even close. Like A Bug's Life is a great sophomore effort for Pixar, but it is not Tangled. Tangled is everything that Disney can do with like CGI and going back, also like giving it hand-drawn roots. Zachary Levi and Mandy Moore are fantastic in it. We're going Tangled.
All right, Taylor, where are we landing? Other than me sleeping on the couch.
Okay, good. I'm glad we got that across first. Look, Tangled is arguably my favorite Disney movie of all time. Like, doesn't matter what's come before it. That is arguably my favorite Disney movie they've ever done. Zachary Levi and Mandy Moore are perfect. I think the music in it is very much underappreciated for a lot of reasons. I See the Light is a great song, but most of the songs in it aren't given the love they should. I think it's a really sweet story. I think it's beautifully animated, and that's why I have to pick it. Bug's Life means a lot to me because as a kid, that was the first movie I ever saw in theaters. So Bug's Life means a lot to me because as a kid, it's what I would always put on when I went to something if it wasn't Aladdin, basically. And I'm really sad, actually, that California Adventure got rid of A Bug's Land to put in their Avengers Land, because that's just a part of me that is like, it's hurting me to say these things, but nothing beats Tangled for me. So it has to be Tangled.
Vanessa.
I like The Bug's Life, but I think that Tangled is the better movie, so I'm going Tangled.
Okay. Evan, just before you give your...
It definitely seems like I should give Tangled a rewatch because a lot of people love this movie, and I saw it last year. I don't think I can connect to it as much as others can, which is at the fault of my own, I guess. But I just saw A Bug's Life. Punny movie is punny. They're both good films. They're not that echelon of great Disney films, but I see why people would think they are, if that makes any sense. I'm gonna go with Bug's Life because I want to give Flick his honorable mention. So Bug's Life it is.
I'm definitely going Tangled. I think Tangled is just the better film. As good as Bug's Life is, because it is one of my earliest childhood memories as well. Tangled's just the better film. All right, next.
Oh God.
Oh, this is going to end badly for me. This is going to end bad for me.
Oh no!
You guys aren't ready.
Lion King versus Cars. Pat's just sitting there going, I know where this is going.
I don't want you to talk. You're not allowed to talk. That's already what we're doing. You're not allowed to
You'll
talk.
be surprised. All right, Taylor, I'm going to let you start.
No.
Okay.
I'll
Vanessa,
start.
I'm going to let you start.
Okay,
I'll start
Vanessa's
it.
going to start.
I'll take one. I'm going Lion King. Lion King is just the top of the Renaissance for Disney. Cars is great. I love the first Cars. I watch that all the time, but it's going to go Lion King.
All right. Evan.
I actually don't know where to go with this.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I think the scene where we have Lightning and Doc on the dirt track, I think is an incredible an incredible scene, but it's so hard to vote against what Lion King does and what exactly meant for Disney animation at the time. We're gonna go Lion King, but it's much closer than I think people are gonna give it credit for.
I agree with Tim Franco in the chat. Is this hard? I'm confused. It's the Lion King. This isn't even close, you guys.
We've already voted.
I like Cars.
Always think they
Cars
can
is fine. Cars is like serviceable entertainment. Lion King is a masterpiece of animation. It's not close.
You're not redneck enough.
Clearly. Thank God for that.
Taylor.
Well, since this is a disgrace, I guess I'm going to have to give some love to Cars. Jesus. Like, I think that Lion King is one of the most beautifully animated films I've ever seen. I didn't really enjoy watching it all that much as a kid, like over other movies. When a lot of people say Lion King is their favorite or was their favorite, it really wasn't top tier for me as a kid. I think the animation is beautiful, and I do think it's a very emotional story. But I have to give some love to Cars because this is hurting me in my soul.
Yeah, I'm also going Cars just because.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Everyone knows my opinion. Well, okay, Lion King's already won, and everyone knows my opinion about Lion King. So I'm going to go Cars. If I was actually giving the deciding vote, it probably would have gone to Lion King.
If I was deciding the vote, it would go to Lion King. But I'm doing what everyone else has done, where I want to give love to a movie that's not getting me.
Yeah,
I mean, I agree with you. I think Cars is a really good movie. Like the first movie, it's very emotional. I do love the story, but Lion King.
That scene where Lightning actually like learns the drifting mechanic and Doc finally gets that levity of, oh, he finally gets it, I think is such a good moment. And everything in the film is leading up to that, and it gives me so much joy.
We talk about this all the fucking time, though. Like, this has come up so many times of like, look at the movies and what they've done for the company. That was the argument with Frozen earlier too. Like, look at what Lion King did for the company and like where it still is. It's still running on Broadway. It's still running on Broadway.
I get that, but back to your argument, like I wouldn't watch
made a Cars Land
before I would watch Cars.
I know.
Like, I would put the Cars on before I would watch Lion King. So,
all right. Next one we have Brave versus Finding Nemo. Evan, I'm gonna start with you.
It's Finding fucking Nemo, dude. The fucking fish got lost and we found him. It's Finding Nemo.
I'm also gonna go. I'll go next. Finding Nemo is. I'm also gonna go with Finding Nemo. Brave is a good movie, but not upper echelon Pixar for me. Whereas in Finding Nemo is Vanessa.
So I really don't care for Finding Nemo, but I also really don't care for Brave. So I'm going Finding Nemo because it has a little bit more tier to it.
Okay, Taylor.
I mean, it makes me really sad, the love that Brave doesn't get, because I think the animation is beautiful. And I also think that the story is a lot of fun. I get a kick out of it, but I mean, Finding Nemo is more impactful, definitely culturally for a lot of reasons. And I do think that it's the better movie. It just makes me sad that a lot of people don't understand Brave.
Pat?
It's Brave. I don't like Finding Nemo all that much. I'm not voting against Craig Ferguson.
We're gonna have to talk about that at one point.
All right, let's move on to the all-time classic Pinocchio versus The Jungle Book.
This is the easiest decision I will ever make in my entire goddamn life.
Taylor?
No, Pinocchio is a disgrace. It has to be The Jungle Book.
All right, PJ.
The Jungle Book has a much better adaptation in live action by Jon Favreau than the actual animated movie. Pinocchio is a classic for a reason. It gave us Jiminy Cricket. It has some of the darkest and creepiest Disney scenes ever put on animation. I'm going Pinocchio.
It's fine. Be a disgrace.
Vanessa.
Oh, gosh. I'm going The Jungle Book. I think Jungle Book has the stronger story. And the music. I like the music more in Jungle Book.
Evan?
I have no strength to bring me down.
I think it's Pinocchio, but ever so barely. Like, ever so barely.
Oh, I'm terrified. I'm terrified. I'm about to pick up Pinocchio.
Oh,
Also,
oh my god!
Just remember, without Pinocchio, we don't get that whole Schmodown reference with Christian and the Blue Fairy, and that's
I can live without that. I can honestly live without that. It's Jungle Book, and I can't believe I just kicked out Pinocchio. I'm like,
well, this was fun. Bye, guys.
All right, let's move on before I want to throw up. Emperor's New Groove versus Incredibles 2. Okay, that's a nice. Okay, cool. That's a nice palate cleanser. I'm going in Emperor's New Groove because, of course, I'm going Emperor's New Groove. Pat,
it's the Emperor's New Groove. The Incredibles 2 is fine. It's not even nearly as good as the first one. It is maybe lower tier Pixar. It's the same movie all over again. Emperor's New Groove is one of the funniest, most meta Disney comedies ever made. David Spade is fantastic in it. Eartha Kitt is fantastic in it. John Goodman is fantastic in it. And Patrick Warburton. We all love Kronk.
Oh, yes.
Squeak in, squeak, squeak in. It's the Emperor's New Groove.
You threw off his groove.
Taylor.
You threw off his groove.
Alrighty. No question. So Vanessa?
It's got to be Emperor's New Groove. I didn't really care, again, for Incredibles 2. Emperor's New Groove. It's a lot of fun.
Yes.
All right, Evan, just give it.
I'm really going to be the only one here to say Incredibles 2, since it's the last time it's going to be here. I think the movie actually says a lot about society and how we like to process information and how a lot of it, what we might see might not be true. And how what we think we might trust, we shouldn't. I think it's a great message for kids. And I think the action is better than the first one. I think some of the jokes land harder. I think it's Incredibles too.
All right. So Emperor's New Groove moves on. Let's move on to Bambi versus Frozen 2.
Oh.
Vanessa, I'm going to let you
just go out and say Frozen 2.
Yeah.
I think that Bambi's an all right movie, but I just never got into it as a kid. Even as an adult, I still don't get into it. So it's my vote's for Frozen 2.
Yes.
All right, Taylor.
Frozen 2 made me appreciate Frozen because after watching the first movie, I didn't really get it. And then we went and saw the second one, and now I get it. And I really like the second one, and I actually want to watch it again really soon. Mm-hmm. So I'm going with Frozen 2.
All right.
Because Bambi just makes me fucking sad.
I'm going Frozen 2 as well. Bambi has not aged very well. Mm-hmm. I think it's still very much a product of its time, and it's just not. I just don't know quite understand the love that Bambi still has. Evan?
The deer got shot for a fucking reason. It's Frozen 2.
Wow. Okay. And Pat?
The only good version of Bambi is the SNL live action version that had The Rock, and that's that. It's Frozen 2.
All right, last one for bracket three is The Sword and the Stone versus Coco. This isn't even a contest, Evan.
Yeah, don't fail me. It's Coco, guys. Like, it's not even close. It's Coco. This movie is, it's so many levels of good, and I think it's gonna move forward. So I'll save my discourse for later.
Vanessa.
I have a grandma named Grandma Coco, so it's Coco.
And Taylor.
And it's a good movie.
I mean, I haven't seen Coco, but it's gonna get through anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Like, that's where I stand.
Fair enough.
I mean, it's Coco. I like The Sword and the Stone, but it's Coco.
All right. So let's now move on to bracket 4. We are getting there, guys.
We're getting there.
We're slowly getting through this. All right. Number 1 is The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, the original classic, versus The Black Cauldron. I'm going to start this one. Black Cauldron, you had a really nice run, but Winnie the Pooh's winning this one. It's an all-time classic.
Yeah.
Taylor?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Easy.
Pat?
You guys already kicked Winnie the Pooh to the curb once, and we're not letting it happen again.
No, we didn't. It went through.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, it's fine. It's still better. We're going with
Evan?
PJ, don't you think you need a little wine to make you feel
I'm trying to be sober tonight.
Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
Vanessa?
It goes to The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
That was easy.
That was a nice, easy one. Oh, this one's going to get me sleeping on the couch. All right. Mulan versus The Great Mouse Detective.
Ooh.
The Great.
Can I go?
Yes, go.
Yeah,
Pat.
go, Pat.
Mulan is one of the most fun animated Disney films. The action's amazing. Eddie Murphy is incredible in it. It gave us such great music. It's Mulan. I think that movie gets overlooked a lot in like their 90s filmography.
Mulan has been my favorite Disney princess for as long as I have a memory in my mind. Like Mulan has always been my go-to. I watched that movie until the tape ran out when I was a kid. So it to me, it's easy. It's Mulan.
This one, okay, so Mulan is a fantastic movie, and yes, it is extremely underrated, but I also think Great Mouse Detective is also incredibly underrated. A lot of people don't give that movie the credit it deserves. It is fantastically made as Disney's take on Sherlock Holmes, and I think it is a fantastic film. So I'm going with Great Mouse Detective.
You know who gives this movie a lot of love is Chris Skalisky, because he writes about it a ton in this show.
Oh, yeah. Evan, where are you going?
It's gotta be Mulan. I've tried watching The Great Mouse Detective before. I cut out after the 10 minutes. I think it takes a lot to get to where it needs to, and I'm just like, it's a movie. Mulan, there's a reason there's a remake being made, and there's a reason why there's a lot of hype for it. So it's gonna be Mulan.
And Vanessa.
So if I was the deciding vote, I think I would have probably pushed Mulan further. However, I love Mulan. I think the music from Mulan, I'd listen to the music to Mulan all the time. But The Great Mouse Detective is such an underrated film. It's so good, and people should watch it more. So my vote's for The Great Mouse Detective.
All right, Mulan gets through, but let's move on to our next one. Moana versus Ralph Breaks the Internet. I'm going to start with this. Moana, without question. Ralph Breaks the Internet was an okay film. To me, it's one of Disney's weaker films. So I am definitely going to go Moana, where Moana's just a lot of fun. Evan?
For as much shit as people give Ralph Breaks the Internet, it is a fantastic movie. I think in this day and age, we don't have enough movies talking about how people... We don't have enough movie or art talking to us about how we should be dealing with social media and stuff. But goddamn, Lin-Manuel Miranda is all over Moana, and that's the reason I have to go with it. It is such a good movie. Something I tweeted about earlier today is that there's a lot in that movie that's super empowering, just in general, that makes you feel like I'm ready to go today and I want to get this fucking done. It's Moana.
All right, Pat.
I mean, it's Moana. It's not even close. The fact that Evan is entertaining the idea that Ralph Breaks the Internet could even get like in the same conversation is absurd. I love Wreck-It Ralph, and I thought the second movie was okay at best.
Taylor?
Yeah, Wreck-It Ralph is a great movie. Ralph Breaks the Internet, I think, tried, but I remember leaving the theater just not really feeling like it was something I was going to want to watch again. So I mean, and Lin-Manuel Miranda, you can't vote against that. So
Goddamn right.
Can't vote against
All right, and Vanessa, are you making a clean sweep?
I am Moana.
All righty.
I just want to give my love to Ralph too. Is that okay?
No,
No.
because it's fine at best.
Yeah, it's
All right,
okay.
let's move on to this one. Hurts more, but this one shouldn't hurt as much as it does. Fantasia 2000 versus Little Mermaid. I actually do really appreciate Fantasia 2000. I think it is visually stunning, and I do think that they do manage to actually have some really great animation in there. But Little Mermaid is one of Disney's best films, so I'm going to go Little Mermaid. Taylor?
Yeah, that's easy for me. I do appreciate what Fantasia 2000 has to offer, but The Little Mermaid is like you can't even compare them in my mind.
Pat?
Yeah, I mean, I like Fantasia 2000 a lot. I actually got to see it in IMAX when it came out. Like, I know that IMAX was still relatively new at the time, but that was like a huge thing. And it stayed with me, and I love it. But I mean, dude, it's The Little Mermaid. Come on.
Evan?
I just want to point out Tim Franco in the chat saying Moana might be the best Disney movie of all time. We'll see about that. I've had this conversation before. And then it's easily The Little Mermaid. There's a reason Lynn is making a remake of it. That's all I have to say.
Oh, God. And Vanessa?
It's The Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
Hey, hold really quick, Jacob. There are two movies I'm on here that if you put them against each other, I literally might have to kill you.
It may be coming up in just a second because this next one's gonna hurt. Ratatouille versus Fox and the Hound.
Oh, fine. Okay, we're good.
Can I start?
Yep.
No, PJ?
I don't really think this is going to get very far, and I actually really love Fox and the Hound. I think it's incredibly beautiful, and there's like a really great story in it. Kurt Russell wins, all the time for me. I'm going Fox and the Hound.
You really just did that.
I really just did that. You're right.
All right, Evan. Guys, it's not even close. It's not even close.
Okay.
PJ, you've destroyed me for a lot, a lot less.
Yeah,
Ratatouille might literally be one of the best animated films of all time. It might be one of Pixar's most important movies of all time. I'll get on this later. If it's Ratatouille, it's not even close.
Can I go next?
Yep.
Can we put a vote behind Fox and the Hound, please?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Thank you.
Don't dare.
I think Ratatouille is a beautiful movie, and I enjoyed it the times that I've seen it. But Fox and the Hound, man, that just hits.
It hits different, right?
Yeah, you get me. You get me.
It hits different.
All right, you may continue.
Vanessa,
please.
I am going Ratatouille.
Thank God. We're good.
I do like Fox and the Hound, but it just never can. Even though it is sad, it just never really connected with me. And to be fair, I never actually watched Ratatouille in theaters because I didn't think that I was going to like it based off of the trailers. But then when I watched it, I watched it 3 times after that, back to back, because that's how much I really liked it.
Hey, Jacob, I'm just going to say I need you to really think about where your vote goes, because now
Come on, Jacob, join us.
On your couch,
Join us.
but when you get here, you can sleep on the couch downstairs instead of having a room. So,
I know where Jacob's vote is going. It's not even. I know where this vote is going.
We all know where this vote is going.
Yeah, I just tried.
Is apparently the first film I ever saw. And Evan, that's stressing Evan the F out right now. I have all the power.
I'm waiting for him to get to a point where he just starts chugging straight out of the bottle.
No, in all seriousness, though, it is Ratatouille, and
thank God.
It's a lot closer than it should be. Ratatouille, the final scene in Ratatouille where the critic gives the speech is just still to this day one of the most amazing and emotionally filled scenes I've seen Disney ever do. And that is why I'm going with Ratatouille.
It might be one of the best film endings of all time. It really might be.
I don't quite go there, but okay. All right, let's move on to our next one. Peter Pan versus 101 Dalmatians.
Can I go first?
Yep.
Can I go first?
Yeah, sure.
101 Dalmatians.
Okay.
Can I go second?
Yep.
Peter Pan.
Okay.
Can I go third?
Yep.
101 Dalmatians.
Thank you, Evan.
Oh, sorry, Vanessa.
Go Peter Pan.
This is actually really, really close for me.
For the drama.
It's no joke. Both of these movies are great. But I am gonna give the edge to 101 Dalmatians.
What?
Yes. Yes.
It's a great movie, and it has one of the best live action versions of the movie. So it's 101 Dalmatians.
Let's go.
Peter Pan has just been knocked the F out. And I'm going to go Peter Pan. I'm going to go Peter Pan, but 101 Dalmatians does take the win. Peter Pan has been knocked the F
Excuse
out.
me, Cruella de Vil. Okay.
Yeah.
What the fuck just happened?
You got dumped.
All right, we have our next round.
With Peter Pan.
We have our last two for the first round, and then we move on to the second round.
The second round is going to
look at it this way. Robert put in the chat saying, think about this. Neither one of these films would win in the end anyway.
Incredibles. The next one is The Incredibles versus Lilo and Stitch. Pat, I'm going to let you go first.
I hate you. I hate you so much because this movie is going to get knocked out and it's going to break my heart. But it's Lilo and Stitch. It's definitely Lilo and Stitch. Like, I like The Incredibles a ton. Lilo and Stitch, it hits me in a very different way. I fucking love that movie so much. It's Lilo and Stitch.
Me, please.
No, because I'm gonna go next because it is also Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch is an absolutely adorable, beautiful little film, and I think Evan's gonna murder somebody. Lilo and Stitch is just perfect, and Incredibles is this is tough. Don't get me wrong, this is really, really close, but Lilo and Stitch just has the edge because Stitch is cute. Taylor.
I'm going.
Oh no, sorry, Evan. Sorry, yeah, okay. Evan.
Brad Bird is a better director than whatever the director of Lilo is.
The guy who did How to Train Your Dragon. Go fuck yourself, Evan.
It's The Incredibles, and it's like how do you make a film that transcends the genre, and how do you make a film that people still talk about today, and people still dress up as today, and people.
And how do you make such an inferior sequel to it?
Head ass up.
All right, so you're going Incredible
to this day. It's fucking The Incredibles. God damn.
Taylor.
Ohana means family.
Well,
family means nobody gets left behind.
What is up? What is up?
Vanessa.
Okay, I'm gonna retort back to Evan over here saying how Brad Bird could be the better director, but he also directed Tomorrowland.
Great movie.
And The Incredibles 2.
Great movie.
No, so my vote is for Lilo and Stitch.
Incredibles has been knocked out, ladies and gentlemen.
Evan left.
Incredibles is gone. Evan has retired. All right. I'm sleeping on the couch.
Oh no.
I'm sleeping on the couch. We have Alice in Wonderland versus Beauty and the Beast.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Who's going first?
Can I go first? I'll go first.
Oh, thank you, Vanessa. Thank you.
I will go first. It's Beauty and the Beast. I love Alice in Wonderland. I think that movie is very fun, but Beauty and the Beast just dominates over everyone for every category. So it's Beauty and the Beast.
Taylor?
No, I'm not going next.
Okay. Pat?
I'm having a really hard time with this. Like,
Pat?
It's really, really hard.
Fine. It's Alice in Wonderland. God damn it.
Okay, so I really love Beauty and the Beast. I really, really do. And I love everything it did for animation. And yet every time I get really high and watch Alice in Wonderland, it's still the absolute best.
That's great. But
no, Pat, keep going. That's the road you want to go down.
I mean, look, you guys, it's not going to get farther than this. So I'm going with Taylor. I'm going with Alice.
Thank you, Pat.
You just gave Evan the power to just completely insult and destroy me. Yep. Evan, what have you got next?
Oh my God.
Evan.
So dramatic.
You really gave me all the cards here.
We did.
So Jacob, I'd like you to vote first.
It's Beauty and the Beast. Evan, just remember this. I gave you Ratatouille. I could have taken that away. I could have taken Ratatouille away.
I
gave you Beauty and the Beast.
It got
Jacob,
nominated for Oscars.
You should know what I'm voting for. Hold up, Jacob. You should know what I'm voting for.
What is it?
It's a tale as old as time.
Oh my God.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite 2D animated Disney film. It's so beautiful on so many levels. It tells such a great story. People make fun of it due to the Stockholm syndrome thing, but it's not even close to Beauty and the Beast. Come on.
Come on,
Pat. Stop getting
ridiculous. High. No, I will never stop.
All right, we are now into the second round, ladies and gentlemen.
We're officially in the second round.
It's only gonna get harder.
I'm gonna go get Margarita. I'll be right back.
Okay, so
I'm gonna go pee real quick. Actually, let's take a 2-minute break.
Let's just take a 2-minute break.
I did. I went pee, and I thought it'd been perfect. What the?
Whoa.
What?
So let's just talk about this.
Also, hold up, really quick, Jacob. I want you to know I was voting for Beauty and the Beast the whole time too. Like it wasn't even like close for me. I just wanted to build tension because I was a dick, and that's what I have to do.
That is also very fair. We have Vanessa is
there
back.
we go.
Vanessa is back with the alcohol,
and I'm using my.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Nice.
Love it.
All right, so I'm just gonna
Jacob, for that time when two movies come up against each other and you and I are gonna have no clue what to do.
I'm gonna know what to do because I know which one of the two I prefer. So
You're awful.
Oh god, this is gonna end in tears. This can literally only end in tears.
Oh, it can.
So-
that is the only way that this will go, and I am so much looking forward to it. Guys, tell us what in the comments below, like what so far is still in that you're really loving, or is gone that you're like, I can't believe that went in the first round.
I think Incredibles is easily the number one thing that got out that probably shouldn't have.
I think Inside Out.
I was expecting Inside Out and Incredibles to go way farther.
Yeah. Inside Out being knocked out in the first round is kind of a big shock for me.
I voted for both of them. So if you guys hate that in the comments, don't hate me. Hate the people that for some reason hate great storytelling. Don't know why that is, but we do what we can in these parts.
Oh my god!
Yep. All right,
and it me out. That was just mean.
Well, we are back. Let's do round two.
All right.
And immediately regret it. So in bracket 1 in round 2, we have Monsters Inc. versus Atlantis, The Lost Empire. Taylor, I'm going to start with you.
All right. As much as I enjoy what Atlantis has to offer, I think Monsters Inc. means more to me. And it's one that I put on a lot more easily to rewatch. So I'm going to go with Monsters Inc.
All right. Vanessa.
I'm actually going to Atlantis with this one. I do like Monsters Inc., but I want to see Atlantis go far since it's been this far.
I am going to go with Monsters Inc. I think Monsters Inc. Atlantis is such an underrated gem and such an incredible film, and should go further than it's going to. But Monsters Inc. is just such incredible storytelling, and it has arguably one of the best characters in Boo. So I'm going to go Monsters Inc. Pat.
I mean, I'm with Vanessa on this. This is absolutely Atlantis. I really love Monsters Inc. Don't get me wrong. And I think this is going to be the last time I get to talk about it. But like Atlantis is an H.P. Lovecraft nightmarish, like cool adventure film through the lens of like a Mike Mignola comic book. Michael J. Fox and James Garner are just so incredible in it. Like the movie just works. I love it so much. I'm putting it out there. It's Atlantis.
Evan, you have the deciding vote.
Is this really in question? I really can't believe this has gotten this far. Monsters Inc. has stood the test of time. Atlantis
so
who?
Atlantis.
Atlantis who? We're going with Monsters Inc. Come on.
All right,
why do we let him talk?
All right, next we have Fantasia versus Hercules. Both of these are such incredible films. Evan, I'm going to let you start.
It's easy, dude. It's so easy. Every now and then I get to be a boomer, and right now is one of those times. It's Fantasia. It is such a landmark in animation. It's such a landmark in Disney's culture. It's got to be Fantasia because Hercules who?
Let me go.
Pat.
It's so easy because it's clearly Hercules. Like Fantasia's great, but Hercules is meant to go the distance. It's in the movie. This is Hercules.
I mean, every time Hercules comes up, I don't think you have to ask me anything because I'm sitting here ready to defend Hercules to the death and be as sassy as possible whilst doing so. So it's Hercules. No.
Vanessa.
My vote's for Hercules.
Sounds good. I'm going to go Fantasia, even though it means nothing, just because the animation, Fantasia is my favorite classic Disney film, like pre-50s Disney film, so I'm going to go Fantasia. But Hercules is incredible as well. Next, we have Toy Story versus Princess and the Frog. Oh, this one. This one's going to hurt. Pat, I'm going to let you start.
I'm going to do it. I'm ripping the Band-Aid off. It's Princess and the Frog. Like, I love Toy Story to death, but I could watch Princess and the Frog all day, every day. I think it's beautiful. And as the last 2D animated movie, I'm going to give it some love.
Second last. Winnie the Pooh's the last.
No,
I am going to go Toy Story. Toy Story, just what it does, what it did for film, and the impact it clearly had. I mean, it was the movie that ended up starting the death of an entire animation type, which sucks, but the story behind Toy Story is so powerful and so well written that I'm going to go Toy Story. Taylor.
Why do you do that to me?
I feel you, Taylor.
This one's really tough because Toy Story is important to me for a lot of reasons. And it did do so much for Disney and for animation as a whole. The Princess and the Frog is also just something I feel like was so important for them to do. So it's just it's almost like an impossible decision to make, because I think that The Princess and the Frog did a lot of very unique things, but Toy Story was such a jumping off point for a lot of things. So I'm going to have to go with Princess and the Frog. I'm just going with my gut decision, because if I think about it, I'm going to cry.
Evan? I think we broke Evan.
I have a whole speech, but then I'm second guessing myself. Toy Story is so important to animation. But I said this earlier today, it doesn't hold up. And it's even past the animation. And can you guys tell me another black-led Disney animated film? You can't. It's got to be Princess and the Frog.
Vanessa, you get a free hit.
Yeah. So I love both of these movies. It's really tough because one, you have Toy Story, like everyone said, it was the pinnacle, the beginning of Pixar, the beginning of this whole generation of this type of animation. It, sparked a lot of awesome things from it. But Princess and the Frog is a very underrated film, I think. It doesn't get the love that it deserves. I absolutely love the music to that. And like I said before, I think it has one of the top tier best villains as well. But my vote would be for Toy Story. And it's really hard. But yeah.
Princess and the Frog makes it through. We say goodbye to Toy Story in the second round.
That's fine. There's two others on the list still.
All right. We have Tarzan versus Wall-E.
Can I go first?
Yep.
No, don't do
it's Wall-E.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, all right.
I love Tarzan, but I do love Wall-E more. Yeah.
This could end very badly. Pat?
It's Tarzan. I like Wall-E a lot, but I think Tarzan means more to me, and I would much rather watch Tarzan than Wall-E.
Evan?
It's Wall-E. Wall-E, as much as I think it has its issues, and as much as I think I need to re-see it because it was borderline forgettable, Tarzan is also just not good.
Oh dear God! Stop talking.
Oh, this is gonna keep happening.
Also Wall-E gets grouped with Up for a reason. Those two movies, for some reason, like to live in their parallel universes as they came out around the similar times and have somehow that similar Pixar style of animation. It's got to be Wall-E. Come on,
Taylor.
Wall-E is cute and it's a great story, but it has to be Tarzan. Come on.
Sorry, Evan and Vanessa.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Get this much love.
I
actually genuinely don't understand how people find Tarzan this good.
Well, I generally don't know why people like you, so that's fine.
I would say that wasn't a deal breaker, so it's all good.
All right, we are on it.
Evan is the only one that's left devastated by this.
Wall-E has been eliminated. All right, we move on to Toy Story 3 versus Big Hero 6.
I'm okay with this. This is easy.
All right, Evan, what have you got?
one forever defined a decade of cinema.
Oh my gosh.
One came out and hated the third act. It's Toy Story 3.
How do you hate the third? Okay.
I didn't. I'm not saying people hate it.
Oh no.
Yeah, I've been listening to him talk about it.
Taylor.
I love everything that Big Hero 6 did. I think that it was such a breath of fresh air for an animated movie. I thought they had so much fun with it, but I can't, like, in good conscience, pick against Toy Story 3 just because that movie destroyed me. Like, that movie looked me in the eyes and said, "You're at the perfect age for me to stab you right in the heart. Here you go, have this." So I have to pick Toy Story 3.
Vanessa?
It's going to Toy Story 3. I think that Toy Story 3 just did wonders for me emotionally. So I'm going Toy Story 3.
I'm also going to go Toy Story 3. It's Big Hero 6 is phenomenal and is an incredibly well-made and an incredible film about grief and recovery from grief.
Yeah.
But Toy Story 3, it has that nostalgia. It has that, no, we played with your nostalgia to give you such an emotionally impactful ending. And Toy Story 3 is just one of the greatest films ever made. Pat?
I mean, the only Toy Story film that deserves to be on this list this high is Toy Story 3. It's Toy Story 3.
All right. Clean sweep. Toy Story makes it. All right. We have Zootopia versus Aladdin. All right. Pat, I'm going to let you start.
It's Aladdin. Like, I can't believe that this is hard for people. Again, I'm going to point to the fact that Aladdin has the greatest animated performance of all time in Robin Williams' Genie.
Evan?
Please. Okay, I know I'm going to be alone in this. But Zootopia does wonders for me. The animated, the Zootopia is probably, when it came out, it did so much in terms of storytelling, and it hit the cultural zeitgeist at the right point, at the right time. It told a story that had to be told. And especially what animation, I think, does best is tell stories to kids that potentially that older films or even we can't tell to kids, where I think Aladdin exists as a musical, and it's a good musical, and it tells a cool story, but it doesn't hit a cultural zeitgeist. I think Zootopia does.
It doesn't hit a cultural zeitgeist. It literally has a Broadway show and a live action remake and two sequels.
I said what I said, and I meant what I said.
TV show.
I said what I said, and I meant what I said.
I think we need to find a dictionary for Evan so that he can understand the words that he's using.
I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark.
Yes.
Yep. So you're going with Aladdin. Vanessa?
I'm going with Aladdin because of what it was to me when I was younger. I think that I do love Zootopia because I think Zootopia has a very strong story that needs to be told. But Aladdin, because of the just, having Genie and having Robin Williams be the Genie, is just mesmerizing. So it's going with Aladdin.
I'm going with Aladdin. Zootopia is a great film and is a really good film. But when you're saying that, it needed to be it needed to come out in this moment and tell the story it told, I think the way it handles the subject of racism is not as good as it thinks it is. And Aladdin is just an all-time classic. So I'm going with Aladdin.
Real quick, before we go on, I just want to point this out. Tim Franco, multiple video games too, but those were all before Evan was born.
I will agree with Tim too, because Tim put Prince Ali Reprise. I love Prince Ali.
Yes,
Reprise.
I agree. The live action,
you could also say,
having that.
You could also say I was born in a whole new world.
Oh God.
Okay.
I also just want to say, when we're doing this bracket, we're not saying the movies we're not voting for are bad. Like, it's all of the films.
Well, unless you're Evan and you just say that things are bad.
Yeah, but
because Evan doesn't know how to talk.
Yeah, it's just that a lot of these films we have to pick one or the other because I'm like torturing people. So
no, that is very true. I do think Aladdin is good. Like, I do think Aladdin does belong in the upper echelon. Can I speak, PJ Campbell? Excuse me.
No,
I do think Aladdin belongs in the upper echelons when we talk about animated films. Personally speaking, I just think Zootopia does a lot more, but that's okay.
All right, what's next?
All right, we are moving on to Toy Story 2 versus Cinderella. To me, this isn't even a question. It's Toy Story 2. Tell.
Yeah, just because honestly, Toy Story 2 to me stands out in the franchise, I guess if you want to call it, because of Jessie. Like that introduction of her character as a kid was everything to me. So I have to go with Toy Story 2.
Vanessa?
I agree with Taylor. I think that the introduction of Jessie and the characters was just amazing. And the fact that freaking Sarah McLachlan song kills me. But I torture myself because I love that song so much. But my vote is for Toy Story 2.
Pat?
Yeah, I mean, I said it earlier, and maybe I didn't mean it at that point, but it's Toy Story 2. It's Toy Story 3. I mean, if you're comparing it to Cinderella, it's Toy Story 2.
They're going, okay, I didn't realize that Toy Story 2 was going up against Cinderella. Toy Story 2 can stay.
Yeah, Toy Story 2 can stay. For now.
We'll see about that.
One's about a fucking shoe. The other is Toy Story 2. It's Toy Story 2.
All right.
The person in the chat who said Evan v. PJ, Dawn of Reasoning, is my new hero.
I'm even listening. Hold on. Evan, you need to I'm listening to Reason.
Sure. All right. Last one for bracket 2. Up versus the 2011 film Winnie the Pooh. Pat, I'm going to let you start.
It's Winnie the Pooh. I'm going with my gut on this one. I'm going with how much that movie means to me. I would much rather watch Winnie the Pooh than Up almost any day of the week.
Taylor?
I'm going with Up. Yeah.
Evan? Evan?
How dare you? Like, I love Winnie the Pooh. But Michael Giacchino. I hope I said that right.
You did.
You didn't, but okay.
I did.
No, you did. It's Michael Giacchino. Yeah, he did say it right.
Fair enough.
I would say one of the best composers of all time. And I would say this is probably his second or third best work behind another movie I love. And it's hard to take that away. So it's got to be Up.
All right. Vanessa?
I'm going with Up, and I'm going to agree with Evan with Michael Giacchino because they do use his score in Disneyland. So from Up. So it's Up.
Look, this is a lot closer than it should be, but it is Up. If it was up against Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, maybe this is a different argument.
Yeah.
But the remake, the 2011 film is a really great film, but it's not. It's not. Up is so emotionally better, and it just hurt. It's more painful. All right, we are moving on to. Sorry, Pat. We are moving on to
Ferguson is mad at you.
Now, this one could get interesting. We have Toy Story 4 versus Tangled.
Tangled.
Let me go.
Tangled.
Yeah, as someone who spent about 5 great Toy Story 4 is and why it deserves to go for it. Yeah, no, it's Tangled.
Yeah.
It's Tangled.
Look, you put anything up against Tangled, I'm going to have a hard time picking whatever it is. Like, that's just the life that I lead. So.
Crap, did we lose?
I know.
And can you guys hear us?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I think we lost Evan. I think we've lost.
No,
Evan.
Am I here?
No, I still see him.
Okay.
I mean,
all
I can make him go away.
Don't do that.
All righty. Evan, who are you picking?
I know I'm alone in this, and I think I'm going to say alone in this, but I think it's Toy Story 4. The movie is just so good. So many levels.
Okay.
You are alone in this.
Vanessa?
I'm going Tangled. Just like for my reasonings why before for Toy Story 4. I think Tangled has the better story.
All right. And Pat, I'm just going to take a wild stab in the dark here.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely Tangled. It's not even close. The fact that Toy Story 4 made it this far is obscene.
Okay. All right. We have next Lion King versus Finding Nemo.
Oh, shit.
Taylor.
PJ.
Oh, God. Well,
I'll go first.
Yeah, I was saying, have Taylor go
You're going
last.
first.
I'll do it. Okay. It's Lion King. I liked Finding Nemo. Fine. As you remember, I dressed up as Darla to Free for All, but it has to go with The Lion King.
I mean,
Taylor.
is this a question?
Yeah, I know Pat's answer.
Yeah.
Taylor.
Let me go. Let Taylor go last. I think it'd be best.
Alrighty.
All right. What's up, Evan?
I think it's
Evan?
Finding Nemo. Lion King is great, but Finding Nemo is so iconic, especially in today's society. At least mine, at least, and
Lion
what
King
it
is
meant
so
for
iconic.
me growing up compared to Lion King. It's got to be Finding Nemo. Get killed, Jacob. You know you have to.
No, because it's not that. I'm really leaning towards Lion King, and the reason I'm leaning towards Lion King is I think Finding Nemo is just too long of a film. I have issues with the third act of Lion King. I have huge issues with the third act of Lion King, but that first half is just so good. Whereas in I'm leaning toward. I'm going to go Nemo.
Thank God.
Thank you so much for this moment in time. I love this. I mean, okay. I think that The Lion King is
Come
it's
on,
a great,
Taylor.
great story, and it has beautiful animation, and I love the music. Finding Nemo, I think, is a really emotional story, and I love it. And this really freaking sucks because I hate this decision because Lion King is not in my top tier of like the OG. Like, it's just not. So I'm having a really hard time with this because if I had to put on a movie right now to watch out of the two of them, I hate this so much. Okay, if I was gonna put one on right now and watch it and be like, I want to watch this, it would have to be Finding Nemo.
Yes!
Lion King has just been knocked out.
Yes.
Wow.
P. Sherman, before you want to be wasted.
I hope you guys really liked having a place to stay when you get to America.
That's all right. My parents have moved into a now house, so they have room for us.
Next we have good palate cleanser. Emperor's New Groove versus The Jungle Book. Pat?
It's The Emperor's New Groove. I can't believe that this last one was even a question, and now this has to be a question. Come on.
Yep. All right, I'm going Emperor's New Groove. Taylor?
Yeah. I like The Jungle Book a lot more than most people do. I know that's not a popular favorite amongst basically anyone, but as a kid, I really loved the music from The Jungle Book. It was one that I would put on more than Lion King, that's for sure. So because it's probably going to definitely lose, I'm going to say The Jungle Book, even though, I mean, The Emperor's New Groove is a better movie, but because I want to give The Jungle Book some love because it's not going to get it anywhere else, I'm going to give my vote to The Jungle Book.
Hey, Jacob, ask me.
Yeah?
It's The Jungle Book.
Oh, God.
This is a travesty.
This could end so badly. Vanessa, you've got the deciding vote.
Do I?
Yeah.
What did you
Jungle
vote for?
I voted for Emperor's New Groove.
Oh, okay. Oh, crap.
You got the deciding vote. Jungle Book or Emperor's New Groove?
I do like The Jungle Book.
Oh, damn it.
I'm going to Emperor's New Groove, though. David Spade.
Yes.
All right. Oh, this is a tough one.
Great.
We have Coco versus
God.
Frozen 2.
I mean, that's easy for me.
I know it's easy for you.
So it's Frozen 2 because I haven't seen Coco. So like that's an easy one for me.
All right, so Taylor's gone Frozen 2. I'm going Coco just because Coco is just so emotionally devastating. But Evan, where are you going? Do not like.
I don't know why you think it's okay to do this to me. Why can't you put Frozen 2 against the Emperor's New fucking Groove? Because who cares about that movie?
Well, a lot of people care.
If you vote for Frozen 2 now, it will. Like, that's what will happen.
That's why we go Coco.
All right. Vanessa.
Oh God, I was hoping you wouldn't go to me. So I do like Frozen 2 a lot, and I do love Coco a lot too. I love them both. But I have more emotionally invested in Coco, so I'm going Coco.
Pat.
It's Coco.
Bless.
Okay.
That hurt, dude. I don't think you realize how much that actually hurt, because like we just did the watch along Frozen 2, and me and Pat Hogue, who you can find on the PJ Campbell Network, absolutely nerded out about that movie. Like from start to finish. Day 2, it's just
Next up, we have The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh versus Mulan.
That's not.
This one hurts.
Yep, I'm in pain.
Oh, this one hurts.
It doesn't
All right.
hurt as much as you think
Not
it
close.
does.
Okay, Pat, where are you going?
Mulan. No.
Evan.
Let's get down to business.
Vanessa.
To defeat the Huns.
Okay, that makes my life so much easier. It's Winnie the Pooh. Taylor.
But did they send me daughters when I asked for sons, Jacob?
Mulan makes it through. Winnie the Pooh is gone. We have next Moana versus The Little Mermaid. Oh, Evan has to pick between Lin movies. Oh,
This is easy though. This is easy because
I don't think so. I think
Mulan is such a great movie from like start to finish. I think the music is better. I think the animation is better. I think the story is better. I think the characters are better. I think it's Moana, and it's not even close.
I'm going to take everything he just said, but put it towards Little Mermaid because I think Little Mermaid is a much better film. So I'm going to go Little Mermaid.
Yeah, same. I'm going Little
Taylor's
Mermaid.
Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Pat.
Fuck.
PJ has to agree with me, and this hurts him.
It's hard, PJ. I know.
It's hard.
I know. I'm right there
really
with you.
hard because I actually love both these movies, and like Little Mermaid has a weird place in my heart because for those who don't know, I worked at Disney, and the very first attraction I ever worked on was The Little Mermaid. So it's a big deal for me. Like I love The Little Mermaid, but I really love Moana. I love Lin's music. I love the animation. I love everything about the movie. But The Little Mermaid just holds a different place in my heart, so I'm going to Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid is through. Vanessa, for the sake of reporting, where would you have gone?
Okay. I love both of these movies, and it actually would have been really hard for me to pick between the two. But I would give the edge to The Little Mermaid. I think that has they both have iconic songs, but I think that Little Mermaid pushes it over the edge. Also, to the fact that when I was a kid and I first watched it, I got super excited because Ursula turns into Vanessa, and I was like, "That's my name." So that's why I go there.
And think about it this way, Evan. Us voting for it means that we get the remake, and Lin is doing the music in the remake, so it all works out.
We're getting the remake anyways, okay?
Moana,
in all real consideration, I do think Moana might be my favorite Disney animated film that's not Pixar. So this one hurts a little for me.
All right, let's move on to Evan's favorite animated film, Ratatouille versus 101 Dalmatians.
Don't make this harder than it has to be.
Again, look, this isn't difficult for me. It is Ratatouille. This is a lot easier than the last Ratatouille one, so I'm going Ratatouille. Taylor?
101 Dalmatians, please.
Evan, I already know what you're picking.
It's Ratatouille.
Pat, where are you going?
I'm going 101 Dalmatians.
Oh, Vanessa, you've got the deciding vote.
Just be contrarian. I want to help PJ contrarian. Just be contrarian.
No, this is 100% because Cruella is more iconic, and I think that means more overall.
I'm going with.
I love when you just hear the pouring of the alcohol.
I'm going 101 Dalmatians.
Ratatouille is gone. Ratatouille is gone. It is no longer in this bracket.
We killed Evan.
I'm okay. It's Evan who I feel for right now. Evan, stop it.
Oh my god.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've
Okay.
taken over. That was
We have
awful.
one more for this
That was
this round.
awful.
Beauty and the Beast versus Lilo and Stitch.
Okay. I'm gonna
Everyone
start.
knows my answer, and I could be feeling the pain that Evan is right now. So I'm just going to go Beauty and the Beast. Vanessa, you don't want to go last, so I will let you go now.
I'm drinking out of my cup here and saying Beauty and the Beast.
Taylor?
I really don't know which way to go with this because I do love Beauty and the Beast a lot. But Lilo and Stitch is also like so I think it's so interesting in the way that it tells the story that it tells, and I think the characters are so great. And yeah, God, I'm just gonna piss everybody off and pick Lilo and Stitch.
Evan?
Don't let me go because we know he's gonna pick.
Go to PJ first.
Okay, PJ.
It's Lilo and Stitch for me, guys. Like, Beauty and the Beast is great. Lilo and Stitch means way more to me than that movie ever will. Ohana means family. I could quote that movie forever. It will always be Lilo and Stitch.
Evan, before you pick, just remember I did pick Ratatouille. Okay?
Lilo and Stitch is like Atlantis. It's a B Disney movie.
What
It's
the
Beauty and the
shit?
Beast.
Oh!
I mean, I
go
won't
that
agree with
far.
the B, but
Beauty and the Beast makes it through to the next round. All right.
You guys really hurt me. I hope you realize this.
We are back
For
to
you.
the beginning. We are nearly at the end, guys.
We're getting
We're getting close.
God, no.
All right. Monsters Inc. versus Hercules. Taylor, I'm going to start with you.
no chance, no way that I'm kicking Hercules out of here.
All right. Hercules gets one vote. Evan, where are we going?
Like, Monsters fucking Inc., man. I can't let another Pixar movie go down like this. Not to another B Disney animated film. Therefore, it is Monsters Inc. God
I
damn.
don't think he understands what like B grade of something is. I
Yeah.
think he associates that with something he doesn't like.
It's
That's right.
100% what that means because Evan
Also-
doesn't know.
Also, I do want to stand by the facts. I have voted against Hercules every time. I'm super consistent.
Yeah, I know
with
you
it.
have because you're a fucking moron.
All right.
Whoa,
Pat.
hey there, buddy.
There is
Pat,
no chance that as much as I love Monsters Inc., that Hercules does not continue to go the distance. This is Hercules's, and it's always going to be Hercules's.
Vanessa, where are you landing?
We're going 0 to hero. 'Cause
Yeah!
it's Hercules.
So Hercules gets 3, Monsters Inc. gets 2 votes. It
this
moves
happen?
on to the to the quarterfinals. Next we have Tarzan versus Princess and the Frog. We're just really hurting Evan right now.
Please, right here. Please, really quick.
Yep.
We're really gonna vote, man, over
Oh
The
my
sweet-
god.
New Orleans story that has so much
I love how he's like freaking out before we even said anything.
importance
Like
He's
in
Disney.
no one's even
Disney
voted
animation
for anything
film.
yet.
It's got to be Princess and the Frog.
I
Like,
mean,
come
you
on,
might
guys.
be the.
Don't fail me.
All right, Pat, where are you going?
I don't know, man. You know, it's
Don't
so hard. And I love these movies so much. And I could continue to draw out all this drama just to make Evan sweat some more. Because look at it.
Drama.
Because we all know how great the music in Tarzan is and how great Phil Collins
What?
really owned that movie.
Stop.
But I'm going Princess and the Frog.
Oh my
All
god.
right. Taylor.
I'm going Tarzan.
Okay. Vanessa.
I'm sorry, Evan. I'm going Princess and the Frog.
Makes it through. My vote would have been for Tarzan. Princess and the Frog makes it through. All right, we are now on to.
Oh no. I don't like
You
your
guys don't
reaction to
I
this.
don't
Oh,
like
you aren't ready. You are
Yes.
not ready.
You guys don't want to see this.
We're up to Aladdin versus Toy Story 3.
Oh God. I'm gonna throw up, you guys.
Can I put Evan?
I will
Where are we
break off the
going?
Band-Aid first, and I will go first.
Okay, Vanessa.
right.
Vanessa.
Yep.
Oh my God. Okay. So I love both of these movies, but my vote is for Aladdin. I mean, just again, Robin Williams and the genie is so iconic, and I love it so much. So Aladdin is.
All right, can I go, please?
Can I go?
No, let me go.
No,
Evan.
let me go. God damn it.
So here's the thing between Toy Story 3 and Aladdin.
Ugh.
Aladdin's a great movie. It really is. But Toy Story 3 is a landmark in animation. Like, it really meant so much to so many generations of people. It meant so much to PJ's generation. It meant so much to my generation. And even that little middle generation where we have Taylor there. It, like, to all three of us, that movie meant so much.
I feel like you would be the middle generation.
My point being is, I'm not done yet. It's a great movie, and it has its place. And I have to say, for as much as we love Robin Williams' performances, and I can borderline agree with that, it might be the best anime performance of all time. Tom Hanks and Tim Allen, this is their journey, and this is what they've gone through. And when we get to Toy Story 3, it is impeccable. It might be the best animated duo of all time. Might be.
All right, Pat.
Pat.
What you got for us?
It's got to be Aladdin, you guys. There's nowhere in the world where the greatest animated performance of all time does not continue to move forward. Genie is iconic. The music is amazing. It has to be Aladdin.
Jacob.
Aladdin has the single greatest performance ever in an animated film.
Oh my God.
However,
It has some of the greatest music ever written for film.
However,
Beauty and the Beast. Toy Story 3 tells a more emotional story, and you connect more with the characters in Toy Story 3 than you do in Aladdin. And I am going Toy Story 3 because that was the culmination of 15 years of storytelling.
you are probably the reason that Robin Williams left the second movie. Okay.
I was going to say
answer.
that, like, you can say all of that. I would give up all of Toy Story for Robin Williams' one performance in Aladdin. I would literally never make a Toy Story film if I got to keep Robin Williams.
I agree with you.
that's a lot. That's a lot of
I agree with
emotional
you,
weight
PJ.
on someone's shoulders.
Yeah, don't
Really
Vanessa
shouldn't be
hit me though.
I think this may be the thing that gets me sleeping on the couch the most tonight, because Taylor now has to pick between her children.
Come on, Taylor. You love us. You really
They
love
put
us.
you through a lot of stress in life.
Taylor, just
Agree
remember
all the
Robin
time.
Williams.
And all that he did for our generation, for our childhood.
Guys, we ain't never had a friend like Robin Williams.
Yes!
Aladdin makes it through. Next up, we have Toy Story 2 versus Up.
I say leave Evan for last. Leave Evan for last.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I go first?
Yeah, sure. You're up.
Toy Story 2.
I'm also going to vote for Toy Story 2. Up is, again, I've been saying how amazing the film is from start to finish, how incredible Up is. However, Toy Story 2 is just the more powerful film.
Yeah,
And
I would agree.
I just think out of the two of them, Toy Story 2 is the more powerful. Pat.
I'm going Toy Story 2.
All right. Vanessa.
Toy Story 2.
Evan.
We actually have a clean sweep. Clean sweep this deep.
Woo!
Wow. That's actually kind of insane that this deep we have a
I
clean
know,
sweep.
that's
That's
Yeah.
like, I think it's more just, I'd be so interested if it was the other way around. Like if it was, like,
If it had been
I
Toy
like- if it-
Story 3 and Up, I think it would have gone a different way.
Yeah, for sure.
I think,
For sure.
yeah, it
No,
would have been.
Toy Story 3 versus Up. Toy Story 3 wins instant.
Yeah.
If it was, I think if it was Up versus, Up versus Toy Story 3, probably all makes it through. All right, let's go to the next bracket. We have Tangled versus Finding Nemo. I think I already know where this is going. Taylor.
Tangled.
Pat.
It's Tangled.
Vanessa.
Tangled.
Evan.
Finding Nemo, and I don't know what I'm missing here about Tangled. Flynn Rider, maybe like he's cool, but like it's Finding Nemo. Like, come on.
It's Tangled. Tangled wins 4-1. Let's move on to the next one: Emperor's New Groove versus Coco.
Oh,
Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me.
I'm doing this to you, Taylor.
I mean, this is once again easy because I've only seen Emperor's New Groove, but I'm not saying that diminishes how much I love the Emperor's New Groove because I think it's brilliant.
All right, Vanessa.
My vote's for Coco, for my grandma Coco.
Bless up, Grandma Coco.
I need to go Coco. Coco floors me every single time I watch it. It's just heartbreakingly devastating. Pat.
It's the Emperor's New Groove for me. There's no doubt in my mind.
We know that what's going to win this because Evan doesn't have taste.
Are you saying I don't have taste?
No, but it's Evan. So
Okay.
he just doesn't have taste.
Okay.
Isn't he still 17 or something? I don't know.
All right, Evan. What are you giving your final vote to?
Remember me. It's fucking Coco. Like I don't
Recuérdame.
about this like it's a conversation, but it's obviously Coco.
You got to do it in
Alright.
Spanish, okay? You got to say recuérdame.
No. I'm getting there. We're gonna get there.
Okay,
I wanted to wait when it's more quintessential. I promise you, Vanessa. It's
Okay.
getting there.
All right, we are down to we are now Little Mermaid versus Mulan.
Oh, jeez.
Can I go throw up for a second?
Evan, you went last time.
It's Mulan. Look, Little Mermaid is good, but it's nowhere near as memorable as Mulan is. Mulan has so much going for it within the music. I think the animation and the color palette is much more stunning and it catches the eye much more. I think it tells a more important story. It's Mulan.
Pat.
I can't fucking believe this is happening.
He's going Little Mermaid because that's who Pat is.
But I watch Mulan more than almost any animated Disney film outside of maybe Lilo and Stitch.
It's really rewatchable.
But man, like The Little Mermaid legitimately means so much to me for so many reasons in my life, which is making this so much harder.
Okay.
I'm going Mulan.
I'm with Pat though. Like I watch Mulan probably more than anything else, but Little Mermaid is like it's just.
So just real quick, someone in the comments. This is a great comment. I thought Evan was going to say Little Mermaid is a B movie.
I thought so too for a second.
You're welcome.
Pat.
I said Mulan.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Taylor.
I'm in the same position as Pat, where it's really hard because Mulan I've probably watched more than anything else, but Little Mermaid is like, it's important to me. Frick. I'm going with The Little Mermaid.
Oh. Vanessa, it's your
Am I deciding vote again?
You haven't voted yet.
Okay. Well, yeah, you're the deciding vote because I'm definitely going Little Mermaid. Mulan is a great film, but Little Mermaid is a damn near perfect movie.
All right,
That's
Vanessa,
quite interesting
on
of you.
I love how she's like, I need alcohol to make this decision. I can't do this.
I can't. You're going to make me an alcoholic here.
I understand that feeling.
All right. Oh, this is so hard because when I did watch Mulan more when I was a kid because of the music and Eddie Murphy. But Little Mermaid is so iconic. Little Mermaid, Mulan. Little Mermaid, Mulan. Little Mermaid, Mulan. Little Mermaid, Mulan. I can't do this.
Let's get down to business.
This one is probably really hard for me. Oh my god. I'm gonna go. I'm sorry, Mulan. It's Little Mermaid.
And
I
Little
can
Mermaid
respect it.
has been eliminated. Sorry, Little Mulan has been eliminated. We are now down. We're down to Beauty and the Beast versus 101 Dalmatians.
Don't disrespect.
All right,
Don't
Evan,
you
where are you
dare.
going? Evan?
Dude, one French movie had to go. I get it, but don't kick out the other French movie. It's fucking Beauty and the Beast. God damn.
I'll go next. Yeah, Beauty and the Beast. It is Disney's single greatest animated film, so it's Beauty and the Beast.
Pat.
I'm gonna go there.
I hate this so much. 101 Dalmatians has arguably one of Disney's most iconic villains of all time. Like, it's so hard to vote.
Evan?
Shut up, Evan. Nobody asked you. I can't believe how hard this actually is. But like, Beauty and the Beast did so much for animation at the time, and I'm gonna say Beauty and the Beast.
All right, Beauty and the Beast. Taylor?
I mean, it doesn't matter now, so I'll vote for 101 Dalmatians. Like, I honestly probably would have gone with Beauty and the Beast in the end, but I do think 101 Dalmatians is majorly overlooked now in terms of when we look back on really great iconic movies. So I think it deserves some love.
All right, Vanessa.
I will agree. 101 Dalmatian is a great film. I do enjoy that movie too, but my all-time favorite Disney movie across the board is Beauty and the Beast. So, Beauty and the Beast.
We have two people on here whose favorite movie is Beauty and the Beast. This could end real bad.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. Wow, we are almost done, guys.
This is only going to end in pain.
Oh yeah.
Like it hasn't already.
It's only going to get
It's
worse.
gonna get worse.
It's only going to get worse for me.
Don't worry, I'm ready to go.
All right.
There you go.
Princess and the Frog versus Hercules,
Oh.
guys.
I'm actually physically going to throw up.
Evan, you may start because I think you're the obvious answer.
Yeah, okay. Here's the thing. I don't remember Hercules, man. I just don't. And I've been trying to hold this back because I didn't want to sound like a dick, but like Hercules just doesn't have that it factor that Princess and the Frog does. People like Hercules because I get it. The fucking god Hercules is there, but Princess and the Frog at the time was something that no one expected. And when it came out, only a small group of people liked it for obvious reasons. But that small group of people loved it, and it has carried over time to the point where, oh, Princess and the Frog is now one of the great Disney movies, and it should be respected for that because over time this movie has gotten better. It's Princess and the Frog and Hercules Sleeps.
I don't think anyone loves Hercules, and Hercules is their favorite part of it. I don't think I've talked to anyone.
I've never ever heard that ever.
So I don't know where that's coming from. But okay.
It's fine.
In fact, he's probably my least favorite of it. It's all about Danny DeVito, Meg.
Yeah,
So.
the music.
I mean, I'm going with Hercules. So
Hercules?
Yeah, I'm going with Hercules.
Vanessa.
Hercules.
Pat.
Boom.
It's Hercules. God damn it! This is not a question.
All right. I'm also going with Hercules. Hercules wins 4-1. It is
Did I miss something growing up? Did I miss something growing up here?
Finalist through.
Wow.
Evan, I think you just miss everything sometimes.
All right. We are moving on to our next one. This is going to be tough.
Oh, great.
Toy Story 2 versus Aladdin. We've already knocked out one Toy Story movie.
With Aladdin.
With Aladdin. Can it knock out another? Pat, I'm going to start with you.
I'm going with Aladdin. I cannot, in good conscience, vote against Robin Williams as Genie. Aladdin must stay. Aladdin must stay for Robin Williams.
Evan.
I get that thinking. I really, really do. I understand what you're saying, but that's also saying like a movie like J.K. Simmons and Whiplash should carry through for like the best of all time in comparison to like a movie like Citizen Kane or whatever. Toy Story 2 and the Toy Story franchise in general carries more weight than Aladdin I think ever will. Only 2
Get
Aladdin
the
movies have been made.
Fuck.
Where
out.
can I speak? Those the DVD the at home releases don't count.
Yeah,
Come
but
on.
it's a great one.
Robin
Yeah.
Williams is literally in the third one. You do
Can
not
I keep
discount
going? Excuse me, it's my turn to speak. Where the Toy Story franchise has lasted multiple generations for multiple reasons. It's Toy Story 3, and I don't think it's close. 2, I'm drunk. I don't think it's close.
I'm gonna go. It's Aladdin. Again, I went with Toy Story 3 because Toy Story 3 is a better film than Aladdin. Aladdin is a better film than Toy Story 2. Aladdin just has better music, has better things. Toy Story 2 is the weakest for me out of the original trilogy. Whereas in Aladdin is still just one of Disney's best ever films. So I'm going Aladdin. Taylor.
Yeah, I don't think that I can say that I'm going to kick out Toy Story 3 for Aladdin and not do that for Toy Story 2. Which is hard because I don't think that, I mean, I love the story of Toy Story 2 and I love the characters and everything, but Aladdin as a kid was like, it was like Aladdin, Mulan, Hercules, like it was, I have to pick Aladdin.
All right. And Vanessa, you have the final vote.
My final vote is going to be Aladdin. I do love Toy Story 2. To be honest, I think I like Toy Story 2 a little bit more than the first Toy Story. But,
yeah, I kind of feel that way too, actually. But.
Yeah, because of the introduction of Jessie.
Yeah.
But it has to be Aladdin. That's just like an iconic movie, and I feel like that story is great. And Robin Williams. Like, you can't say no to Robin Williams.
Hey, Taylor and Jacob.
Yeah?
Can I take the time to adjust the chat really fast?
Sure.
Just because I think differently than the rest do doesn't mean that it's worse or a bad take. I just want to address this really fast. We all grew up differently. We all have different perspectives. Just because I say things and maybe they come off as differently or come off as not as fluent, it doesn't mean that to me or to you it's bad or good. It's just we've had different experiences. That's all I have to say. That is all I have to say.
Let's move on because we are down to 4 more to go. Tangled versus Coco. Evan.
This is gonna be an easy one for Evan.
I'm gonna have to pull this one out of my ass because I don't trust you guys.
Evan, if you are actually going to sing Remember Me, you are not helping your cause at all.
There you go. That's what you guys get.
He did it.
It's fucking Coco.
I'm going to go because I'm not getting anywhere near the ending of this. It's Tangled. Tangled's the better film.
I also vote for Tangled. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right.
Pat.
I also vote for Tangled.
Vanessa.
I vote for Coco because it's more emotionally involved with Coco.
Gracias,
But Tango is good, but I do love Coco.
Evan's going to hate this. Ladies and gentlemen, there are no more Pixar films remaining. Every single Pixar film has been eliminated.
Amazing. Wow.
How do we manage to vote out literally the best animation production company there is? How do we manage that?
By the greatest. So yeah.
Genuinely.
No,
okay.
Genuinely, the best one is
stories.
Yeah.
All right, we're down to the final. We are down to the last bracket before we get to the finals. Ladies and gentlemen, The Little Mermaid.
Oh
no!
Excuse me while I just go cry in the background. But
Can I go take a couple of shots before we have this conversation?
I'm just gonna pull my Band-Aid out right now and say Beauty and the Beast.
So am I. I'm saying Beauty and the Beast because everyone knows that is my favorite animated film of all time. So I'm going Beauty and the Beast.
I'm throwing Little Mermaid in.
All right.
My vote.
Evan.
Let Pat go.
Pat.
It's Beauty and the Beast.
Woo!
Beauty and the Beast makes it through. Evan, where would your vote have landed?
I wanted to crush fucking Pat's heart, but it's Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast makes it through. Our 4 finalists.
Jesus.
Our 4 finalists are Hercules, Aladdin, Tangled, and Beauty and the Beast.
Oh dear God.
Yeah, I got it.
Our first one is Hercules versus Beauty and the Beast. This
Don't
is the
be idiot.
semifinals, guys.
Don't be idiots, please.
It's Hercules, so you're welcome.
It's Beauty and the Beast. Evan,
It's Beauty and the Beast. It's a tale as old as time.
Pat,
He drinks as he says it's Hercules.
It's Hercules.
Vanessa.
We know what Vanessa's gonna pick, so
Okay. Yeah, we do know that what I'm gonna pick. Yeah, I'm gonna say Beauty and the Beast.
And with that, Hercules made it to the semifinals. It's very impressive showing. It made it to the semifinals.
That's honestly the most atrocious movie that I think I've seen come through this far. That's all I have
Why
to
do
say.
you?
Hercules is great.
I mean,
I
I
know.
thought about defending Evan to the chat, but now I'm just gonna let them do whatever they want.
All right. And the last semifinal, Aladdin versus Tangled.
Aladdin.
Pat,
Aladdin.
Evan,
I'd like to go last, actually.
Taylor.
Tangled.
I've got to go Aladdin. I'm sorry. Aladdin.
Damn it! I wanted all the power in my hands, but with that,
All right,
I'll go Tangled.
Aladdin is just slightly the better film.
Yeah.
Not by a lot, but it's just slightly the better film. Yeah. Evan, what was yours?
I'm going Tangled in honor of Taylor. Cheers.
All right, we are down to our finalists.
Can I just say something? Robert called it. He said that it would come down to Aladdin versus Beauty and the Beast in the chat.
Can I say that I'm a little disappointed that it's come down to 2 of the most predictable movies that could have possibly ended up here?
True.
Oh, we should have voted Ratatouille.
I'm a bit disappointed by that fact.
I would agree if it wasn't that they are still so iconic that there's a reason that they made it this far. This is how good films continue to be. Like, just because it came down to it doesn't necessarily make it fully predictable, but I mean, come on. We do.
Yeah, but Beauty and the Beast isn't in my top Disney films, so to me it's a little
fair enough.
Boring.
Fair.
I mean,
Thanks for Aladdin.
I would agree with Taylor, even though you know where my vote's going to go.
I don't know what's going to go.
Because, you know, you kind of want to spice it up a little bit.
Okay.
No? Okay.
Well, the final one is Aladdin versus Beauty and the Beast.
You know, it's funny you guys say that because I already know where 3 of these votes are going to go. So talk about wanting to spice stuff up. Maybe you should think about that before you cast your vote because the chat's already calling it out.
It's true, they are, and I don't regret it.
Out. And it's unfortunate because it should really come down to Toy Story 3 and Aladdin. It really should. But here we are, and I'm voting Aladdin because I know it's not going to win. But it's Robin Williams' Genie. It's the music. It's everything about that film. It is iconic. It deserves to win.
I mean, I'm voting Aladdin too because, like I said, Beauty and the Beast is fine. But the fact that we're here is, like, I'm just kind of resigned at this point that we're here. So,
Vanessa?
I will say that this is closer than for me because I do like Aladdin a lot. Like, Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin, they always go back and forth for me. But unfortunately, Beauty and the Beast, so Beauty and the Beast.
Evan?
I think we're going to have a little more time to talk about it in the end. I do have to say Beauty and the Beast is the much better movie, and I think it is much better. I don't think it's as close as people want to give it credit for. It's just so good on so many levels.
So is Aladdin.
Look, Aladdin. Beauty and the Beast was nominated for Best Picture, and there is a reason. It's one of, if not the single greatest animated films ever made. And unfortunately, that is why I do have to pick Beauty and the Beast. I wasn't planning on Beauty and the Beast winning this at all. I had no intentions whatsoever of getting that all the way through.
I didn't either.
But Beauty and the Beast is one of the most beautiful, one of the most stunningly gorgeous films Disney have ever made. It is the movie that changed animation it made adults go to the movies to see animated kids movies. And that is why Beauty and the Beast is, to this day, the greatest animated film.
You're so fucking boring, Jesus.
I'm sorry. But that's really completed this entire panel. This was a fun idea. Till we get to the end, this is a fun idea, and then we get to the end, and suddenly it's.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have been okay with if you guys voted Beauty and the Beast out, I would have been like, okay, well, it's out.
I would have lived with it. I would have been okay with it, but guys, what was your biggest surprise?
I have two.
I'm very sad that Aladdin didn't win. I can't believe that we voted out the greatest animated performance of all time.
To be fair, it came second.
Still number one. Doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning is winning.
Evan, what's your biggest surprise?
So I have a couple. For as much as I want Ratatouille to make it that far, I don't think enough people see the movie that I could argue Jake and I see it, and I think it's getting a renaissance. As weird as this sounds, I know a lot of people. And don't give me those weird looks. Let me finish my point.
I'm listening to you.
I'm looking at Jacob.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people in my age group are finally revisiting the movie because when we saw it, we were just kids. A lot of the things in that movie are very adult driven and have a lot of themes that identify directly towards people who are going through that phase that Remy does. But I'm not surprised it didn't get that far. But Incredibles was a big surprise. Hercules was huge surprise. I'm not surprised by Aladdin. I think I'm probably alone in thinking that movie is just fine. But Beauty and the Beast making it that far I'm glad. It's probably my top 3 in this bracket behind Ratatouille, Moana, Incredibles. Incredibles and Beauty and the Beast. So I'm glad. I'm just disappointed in the facts that fucking Inside Out and Incredibles got upset like that. For sure.
To the guy in the chat calling us all dumb because 101 Dalmatians was voted for over Ratatouille. Some of us just like the iconic villain more than Ratatouille. And I like Ratatouille. Don't get me wrong, but calling us dumb over it is not helping your case.
Only we are allowed to call each other dumb because we are friends.
Yes.
You guys are not allowed to call us dumb. We can call each other dumb all we want. Like, I love this idiot, but I will call him dumb for being part of the reason we got Beauty and the Beast in the end.
And I'll be sleeping on the couch.
I like on my couch. It's nice.
Yeah. We don't have a very comfy couch. We bought a cheap one.
But guys, if you enjoyed this, if you had fun hanging out with us, torturing ourselves, please let us know in the comments. Thank you guys to everyone who hung out with us this whole time.
I really enjoyed it and
watched us go through this together because it looks like we're still friends at this point, but I guess we'll find out.
That's questionable on one side.
You really broke me here. You really broke me.
So if you guys have enjoyed this and want to see more content like this on our channel, please let us know. Thank you to all of our guests who joined us today and who are now becoming alcoholics due to this stream. We very much appreciate your participation.
And yes, Tim Franco, you can definitely call us dumb because we
I think Jacob and I are the only ones not drinking on
I think so, yeah. But then again, it is also 3:00 in the afternoon on a Thursday.
Can I just say to Robert in the comment section here, he's saying the internet, we're dumb for not choosing Pete's Dragon. Yeah, it might have animation in it, but I consider it more of a live action movie, okay?
Yeah, it's not a traditional Disney animated film.
Yeah.
That's why Mary Poppins wasn't on here or Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Right.
But
Thanks, guys, so much for this. Let us also know in the comments, what other brackets do you guys want to see?
Yeah.
We want to do this again, and I'd really love to be able to know what more movies can we torture these people with and make them choose and decide.
And with that, Pat, where can people find you on the internet?
You guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at PJ_Campbell. And if you have not already, go and head to the PJ Campbell Network, which is on YouTube as well. I'm sure the link is below also. But we're doing lots and lots of content now. We're doing lots of movie watch-alongs. We have a bunch of shows on the way. I get to torture Jacob and Taylor like once a week as we watch movies. It's great. You guys should check it out.
And Evan, where can the good people find you?
All right, y'all. Y'all can find me at Evan Degraff Live on the Twitter. I have my actual Pixar ranked. I just posted on there. I think I'm going to pin it because I talk about it every single time I'm doing an outro right now. Find me on there on Twitter. I really do appreciate all of you guys for bringing me on. And on top of that, Jacob and I are doing a Famous Last Words, my new show that I've really been working hard on for probably the last semester. We're doing that on Tuesday on the PJ Campbell Network. So no, sorry, Tuesday. So be there or don't be there, but please be there. It's gonna be a really good time. And Ratatouille should have done better, but I can't have people see my way. And one last thing, do not call people on the internet dumb. You don't know where they're coming from. You don't talk to them every single day. As much as I appreciate the support in the comments, I wouldn't recommend doing that. I know PJ, Jacob, Taylor, and Vanessa well to an extent, and I feel like I have the ability to call them dumb, but you personally do not, sadly. So
I mean, that's we call each other dumb because we love each other, even though we're all dumb. So
legitimately, we've all known each other for years. Like, this is years-long friendships that have basically become family. Like, we fuck around like this all the time.
Yeah.
And with that being said, Vanessa, where can the good people find you?
They can follow us at the Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Stardust, at Late to the Party or officially Late to the Party. And then YouTube, Late to the Party. Yay.
We will have everyone's links down in the description. If you want to find everybody, please go follow and like and subscribe to everybody we've had on today. We definitely want to have them back when we do more of these to torture ourselves.
If they want to.
If they want to come back.
I'll be back every time.
I'll bring a new one of these.
Yeah. Perfect.
With that, this boy.
Thank you guys.
I have one of those too.
Thank you, Jacob, for making our bracket today, doing all the research that you did to put them where they all went. You're the best. Thank you very much. We will see you guys all next time.